The first game we look for, Robbie. Tottenham away. When we got Tottenham away. Tottenham away. When we got Tottenham away.
Welcome to North London is ours. You're probably looking at the background and wondering where's the theme song. It will return next week. There were some little changes on StreamYard. This is the program that we use. And apparently I can't find my theme song or the backgrounds. So we're using the Monday night background. But we have a packed show of many guests. Stefan and Connor are on their way to talk waffle. And I invited my boy Steve. And there will be some other guests coming on. Steve, his club, apparently played us and Arsenal within the week. And North London is now, black and white?
Basically.
Yeah, it's basically black and white. As we wait for those Arsenal frauds to come on. Welcome, Steve. How are you doing?
Yo, bro, I'm doing good, man. I'm doing good. Yeah. Newcastle just kind of kicking everybody's ass at the moment. So, yeah, I didn't think that out of Man United away, Spurs away, and Arsenal away, we'd win all three games, 6-1 on freaking aggregate. So pretty impressive. None of those teams are in great moments right now, but Spurs still have the potential to beat you on the day. Man United got a freaking draw with Liverpool as well. Big up Tesla, by the way. Nice to meet you. But yeah, Newcastle doing really, really well. But I mean, Arsenal are the ultimate embarrassment, really. They're just really funny. Talking about the ball being a reason why, I'm not used to it. And I know Stefan's gonna come on and be like, oh, he's responding to a question. It's like, bro, nobody cares. All right. Your manager's making so many excuses. So it's good times, man. Good times.
No, it's definitely good times, and big up to those who are already in the chat. A user, big up. Like I just said about a couple of minutes ago, the graphics and the theme song has been wiped out, and so I need to recover that. So I'm using the Top Number Way Mondays graphics, as they say. So just only for tonight, and the theme song. So yeah, but big up Jonas in the house, Harry Tong TV who's also in the house, David Green, big up. Yeah, he's gonna swing by tonight. And Sue Smith, big up. Not sure about back. I think the title "We're Back" means the show is back. Yeah, we know. I agree. First win in ages. We got to win 2 in a row. We need to find consistency. I totally agree, Sue Smith. But big up,
Mari.
Yeah.
You know what's funny? And in guys will argue that we are back actually. So, because they were saying to Angel guys, where are you guys now? Talk now after yesterday's win. So I'm just saying, some people might argue that we're actually back.
Okay. Well, it's been a long time. We finally got a gooner in the house, and it should be a good night of recapping. There's so much to recap, but before we start, Tesla was first. Tesla, how are you doing, brother?
I'm actually doing very well. I'm a bit nervous because it seems like everybody here is already familiar with each other. This is my first time here, so I'm looking forward to meeting new people and having a
Uh,
good show tonight. So yeah.
you don't need to be nervous. You definitely don't
Yeah,
need.
there's nothing to be nervous about.
And I like your tagline, North London narratives. So that's going to be interesting. Because I like that title, North London
That is,
narratives. And some other users are in. I am fan. Big up. Oh, thank you for the song. Thank you. I really appreciate it. And then East London Gooner. All right. So we get our Gooners back. Agnes is one who comes through, and a couple others. Connor, Happy New Year, brother. How are you?
Happy New Year to you too, Mario. Big up to everyone as well, locked in. No, I'm good, man. Actually, well, no, I'm good personally. Football-wise, I'm not very good. It's quite ironic that you guys have to win when we're back on this show. And I did actually say to Stel, I said to him, when's Mario bringing back the show? And he's like, oh, he'll do it this Thursday. And I thought, oh, great, because obviously we're playing Newcastle, you're playing Liverpool. And I thought, and I actually predicted we'd lose against Newcastle, to be fair. I just knew we would. And I thought to myself, Liverpool surely going to do the same what they did to you last time. How ironic that you have to win, the day before we do this show. But it is what it is. But I'm all good, man. And yeah, just looking forward to catching up and talking more about our clubs. Because to be fair, we're both in the mud. Let's keep it honest and real. We are both in the mud. So
yeah, I do have a question. I have a question though. I have a question. Connor, you're an Arsenal fan, yeah?
Yeah.
Are you guys still in the FA Cup?
Yeah.
So why is everybody in turmoil? Because I think you guys are second in the league.
Yeah, it's more.
So what's going on?
But if we look at the facts and the basis, we've been second for 2 years straight. Liverpool look like they're going to go ahead and win this league. I don't think Arsenal are going to catch them at all.
That's
if we get not the more anger is the fact that it's the way we performed against Newcastle, especially at home. Listen, don't get it wrong and twisted. Just because Steve's here, Newcastle is still a very good team. They're not a team to be treated lightly or as not a threat. Their front line and even their midfield, even with Guimaraes out, is still extremely threatening. And obviously, we couldn't get even past their defence. So I think it's the way we had the manner of going out in that semi-final. And I'm going to keep it honest and real. If people really think we're going to go to St. James's Park and somehow score 3 goals, I think you're kidding yourself personally, without conceding. So there's that as well. I think it's also the basis of the fact that I don't think we're going to win the league this season. I think Liverpool have it wrapped and under their control. I don't see them bottling it like we would. And honestly, it all does boil down to Sunday. And even now I'm worried about Sunday because the way we've been playing the last couple games, it is worrying. Saka's now out. That's our main player, our main talisman. Odegaard really doesn't bounce off anyone else apart from Saka. And Man United, you never know in the cup. We've seen United do it to us before the Emirates in the cup. Even though they are terrible and they are in the worst form of their life, they did. But you just look, United are still there. They're still capable of getting out results.
Connor, it's so similar. It's sorry to cut you off. It's so similar to yesterday. Nobody thought Spurs was going to.
Yeah, exactly.
Spurs and United have been doing that all season.
Capability to get
results. Spurs have been doing that all season.
Nobody.
We did it to City. We did it to Manchester United.
Yeah.
So let's
do that all season.
So let's get to the first important question. Before yesterday, this is where I wanted to get to. Before yesterday's game, I still think we are in that state. Because, like Sue said, yesterday's victory, mind you, we have to go to Anfield. I'm explaining yesterday. Can we consistently see Ange play pragmatic football, to be able to cross that line? And that means going a tall order going to Anfield and winning that second leg. But before yesterday's game, we knew that Ange was on the hot seat. There were messages, coming from the journalists saying that Spurs are backing Ange. He has nothing to worry about, apparently. But the growing numbers of Ange out were coming. Now, a month ago, you probably would have said it was, kind of small, group of people who wanting Arteta out. The league gunners of the world, the north side of the world, along with yourself, Connor. But now, when you have guys like Igal, Dan Potts getting louder, Gunnar Lee, and all these other guys, like it seems that there's a growing number of Arteta out. So I want to bring up this club, the state of our clubs, Spurs and Arsenal. I'll start with you, Connor. What is the state of Arsenal? We may have to revisit it when Stefan comes here because we don't know if he still feels the same. But as Yardman puts it, Arteta is not the guy to put you guys across the line.
Don't tell Stefan that because he doesn't believe that, unfortunately. But listen, it's all well and true, in my opinion, that we all know deep down. I think even the Arteta know that Arteta isn't going to win us a league title. And I don't want to be a repeated song and keep saying the same thing. But I always will say before I do talk about Arteta, because I don't like the guy, I will say I respect what he's done in his time. I think he's put us in a better position than what we were when he first took over. I think our first 11 is 100 times better than what it was when he first took over. So there are benefits in what Arteta's done. I think the fan base is a little bit more better than what it was. It's a bit less toxic after Arsene Wenger left, and especially towards the end of Unai Emery. So I think there are little bits that are better. But you look at the whole scenario of a football club and what a football club is, especially like Arsenal, and it's trophies. Yeah. And Arteta hasn't delivered those trophies. It's as simple as that. One FA Cup isn't enough. And if any fraud brings up Community Shields, I hope you get banned from the chat because he's a fraud for saying that. So for me personally, I think the club is in a good position to possibly go ahead and win things, but under a more under a more experienced and overall better manager than Mikel Arteta. And I think even after 5-6 years, there's still signings that need to be made, which in my opinion is shocking. But you look at the window we just had. Ricardo Calafiori, I still think he needs a little bit more time. Mikel Moreno's ass. I don't care what anyone tells me. I think he's ass. And Raheem Sterling. I don't need to say any more about that. That's the levels of the window we just had. And by the looks of it, we're not going to sign anyone this January either. Honestly, Mari, to answer your question, the state of our club, I think it's the same it's been the last couple of years. It's been a bit standstill in terms of really pushing to go on. I look at the game against Newcastle. We got off on a really bad draw against Brighton. We really didn't show up in that game. We were very mediocre. You'd really think the boys would want to go into this game against Newcastle, semi-final. Right, first thing, we got to pipe this out. We know what we're like at St. James's Park. We pretty much always struggle. We need to get a result. And the way we turned up in that game, the tactics that we had, there was nothing effective to go ahead and break down Newcastle. And this is exactly what we've been experiencing under Arteta for many years. And this is why I've told people, Arsenal fans, not to get their hopes up, because we've done this many a times before. The same thing happens again and again and again and again. So yeah, for me personally, I think we're at a standstill, Maury. That's where
a lot of people said, and we got Steve here, that Eddie Howe out-coached Arteta because they were expecting Newcastle to absorb pressure, whereas in a strange way, Newcastle came on the road to the Emirates and played the high line. They were aggressive.
That first 20 minutes, we were very aggressive.
They were aggressive. Yeah. Did that shock Arsenal?
I think so. In terms of how we play our football, we're very possession dominant, especially at home. We love to hold the ball and then just pass it around and around and around and around. Their teams sit back, which obviously did happen eventually with Newcastle. I guess it did take us a bit by surprise, and the free kick was fantastic. Any fraud that comes out here and says, "Oh, but you pushed Odegaard," welcome to what is called a contact sport. If Isak fully throttled Odegaard and really lynched him onto the ground, I maybe would have made a call for it. But it was a little nudge. Get him out of the way. Let me knock this header in the back of the net. A lot of Arsenal fans are crying over that. The problem with our fan bases, Marin and guys, the problem with our fan base is they always look for an excuse. There's always an excuse. It's not the fact that the players were awful on the day and offered absolutely nothing. It's always the fact of, but Isak shoved Odegaard, but the referee was awful, but we shouldn't have had a booking here. It's never owning up to our mistakes. And I would be interested to hear what Stefan thinks about the game against Newcastle, and if he actually even bothers to have a concept or even a thought about a positive that was out of the game. Because I think everything was shocking. The defense was shocking. Raya, I've never seen a bad performance like that in a long time from him. I think that's probably one of his worst games for Arsenal.
He was so bad.
Which is so disappointing because I love Raya. Midfield was non-existent. And the attack, it is so crazy. You look at a team that scores 91 goals in a season, but they always struggle in the crunch time. But people put that aside and say, but we scored 91 goals. Where were the 91 goals against Newcastle? When it comes to crunch time, under Mikel Arteta, Arsenal always crumble in the games you need to win, whether it's a Champions League round of 16 quarter-final, whether it's a cup semi-final, whether it's just an important game to lead your team onto a successful season, i.e. a trophy. Arsenal always crumble apart from the first season where Mikel Arteta, the first half season when Mikel Arteta took over. That's always been the same. Even the league, 200-something days on top of the league, crumble. So to answer your question, Mari, to not blabber on, the state of our club, I think it's at a big fat standstill at the moment, and we're doing worse than where we were last season as well. A lot of Arsenal fans like Agal. I do like Agal personally. I think he's a great guy, but he did say, if we regress this season and we go backwards, he's going to think twice about Arteta this season. Where we are right now compared to last season in the league, we are worse. We are worse than where we were last season. So we have gone back.
You're in a top 4 battle, bro.
Yes. I don't think we're even going to get second this year. I think we could go down to third if we really do mess things up. Whether that's Chelsea or now City is signing Marmoush. Is that you pronounce his name? Maramouche? Who's a really good player, obviously, for Frankfurt. Maybe that could revitalise them, get them back up to maybe second.
He's the new Salah.
Yeah, well, apparently. We'll wait and see about that one. But that's some big boots to fill. So we'll wait and see about that one. But we are not winning this league this season, and I hope everyone's woken up.
Back to, and I wish Stefan was here, and you'll come back to, and Dan Potts and Turkish brought it home. What was the one thing that Arsenal people kept bashing Arsenal for?
Mari. I have a lot to say about what he said now before we move on to something else.
Okay, I'll just make this quick point that you guys needed a striker, and Havertz.
He has ours. He has the one I want. He has the one I want.
Havertz and Havertz, Sterling. Yeah, there was a good patch with Jesus, but Havertz has been. It was almost like
Mari. Havertz is Havertzing.
Yeah.
Everyone
lives you guys wanted the Isaks, right? Because as their Potts put it, we would love to have Gordon and Isak. And that's what Arsenal's missing. I'll go to Tesla. What is your view on Arsenal right now in their state?
I think
Okay, so firstly, I don't want to let it be known that obviously I'm a Tottenham fan, but I'm a media student. So if there's one thing I know how to do is try my best to be as objective as possible. So I'm going to try to be that. So now looking at things from outside and without the obvious emotional attachment you have to Arsenal, I do disagree with a lot of the things you said.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so now to start with the signings, I think there's context about the signings because everybody's talking about how our signings or Arsenal signings last season were unnecessary or were useless or this or that. You guys needed a backup centre back or somebody to compete. Or if the situation that happened with Saliba happened again, you would have a centre back there to play. So you needed Calafiori, and you also needed a left centre back, left back, or whatever it is that Arteta has been doing with the whole back four of centre backs. You needed one because Zinchenko wasn't good enough, in my opinion. Timber was out for the season. So in case that happened again, and obviously, like I said, Zinchenko is not good enough, you needed somebody to be there. You needed somebody to replace Xhaka. So you got Merino. And you needed a winger, at least for the meantime, until you guys were able to get somebody that was good enough for your club. You got in Sterling. Now, I get it. Those were not the signings that Arsenal fans were expecting. Arsenal fans wanted a striker. They did go for Šeško, as everybody knew. But for one reason or another, it didn't happen. And if that's your guy, and you know you're not able to get your guy, then why don't you go back, get other things, and then come back for the person instead of signing the wrong striker? Do you get what I'm saying? Now, you said something about Arteta not being the man to take Arsenal over the line. I do have a different perspective on that because I've seen this man, and you might call it whatever, but I've never seen my club win a trophy. I'm 20 years of age and I've never seen my club win a trophy. I've seen this man win the Community Shield and I've seen this man win the FA Cup. So, and that was in his first year at Arsenal. I think that he can take Arsenal over the line, but there's just been context. Like, I think in the seasons that he's been at Arsenal, unfortunately for him, he has had this absolute beast in Manchester City that have won how many Premier Leagues in how many years?
Have Man City as an excuse, bro. We can't.
Just let me continue. If you see it that way, fine. But there's a reason why, except all the years, is only one team in the Premier League in Liverpool that have won the Premier League, aside from Manchester City.
Right.
In the last few years, there's a reason why.
So
as much as you want to.
You know the season where we were up top for over 200 and something days, right? Where we were up top.
Was that the season that Saliba got injured?
It was it was, but I don't
want to play who in centre back.
Round that whole season off because one player got injured in one.
Who did you play at centre back?
Sorry,
Rob Holding.
Who did you play at centre back?
I played Rob Holding.
Exactly.
I still can't
what is Rob Holding now?
Man, a team is, and I can't just in my brain. I can't just take out one player and a team bottle the league. And you can't forget we done it again last season. We were there up top. We finished 2 points behind.
Okay, I have a question for you. This season,
yeah.
Odegaard was the one that injured, Abi. Odegaard was the one that injured. Then what happened to Arsenal?
It's not even the fact that Odegaard was out, Teslim.
Odegaard injured and Arsenal fell apart.
They were struggling with Odegaard.
They were closer to the top than they are now.
Look at Odegaard's GA. He started 12 games this season, and I think he's only got 1 goal and 2 assists. 3 assists. You know, so he's been out of form. You know, listen, I can get your point, Teslim. I do. I honestly do, right? On like different perspectives, right? Of injuries and all this, right? One thing I can never get out of my mind is the fact of the amount of money that Arteta has been given and what he's brought out of it. I'm never going to say, you know, we've made awful signings. We have brought in some good players, but there's definitely been more worse than good. I can definitely tell you that for free if we do, because there was a thing by The Athletic the other day where they named all the positions of everyone we signed, and there definitely has been a waste of money in that aspect, especially up front, in my opinion. I'm about to get absolutely cooked now. Here we go. But in my opinion, personally, Teslim. Oh, hold on a minute. I'm getting a phone call. Give me 2 seconds. In my personal opinion, Teslim, when it comes to Mikel Arteta and possibly winning Arsenal the Premier League, hold on, Mark, I have to move on. I'm getting a phone call. Give me 2 secs.
Okay.
You know what? Can I continue? Because you called me up.
Yeah, go ahead.
So now, where I fault Arteta is making the same mistake that Pochettino made with Tottenham Hotspur. Pochettino was so obsessed with winning the Premier League that he sort of dismissed the cups. And I think that you need to win the cups to have that winning mentality, to have that winning experience, to know how to get over the line before you can win the Premier League. And I think that is where one thing that I can fault him for not taking the cup seriously, because I feel like Arsenal have had for a couple years now a squad good enough to win at least.
Yeah,
I think it is good
the
as
Carabao
well.
Cup.
I think it's good enough to win as well. But I don't think the manager's good enough.
That's what I'm saying.
The final line.
Bro,
I feel like he hasn't taken the cup seriously.
I just want to ask Connor, because last season he wished he had Ange. Did you still wish we had Ange?
Man. Oh my days!
I'm sorry, no, Connor.
What I mean,
no, I'm sorry, man.
I'm
sorry.
And Stefan, last year you thought Arsenal was going to win the league.
And we got pretty close, didn't we?
Dude, do you know what's crazy? If they do somehow pull off at Anfield, Ange will be to more finals than Arteta. Isn't that crazy? In 5 years, 5-6 years.
Well, that's not
insane.
well, okay.
That's insane.
Well, okay. So you would take finishing 12th and 13th.
I didn't say about finishing 12th. I made just an opinion.
Okay.
No.
I just want to know because
in just under 2 years.
Because Ange Postecoglou is going to Anfield with a 1-0 victory where they have won 8 times in 100 years. Do you really think they're going to keep a 1-goal?
They don't need a win. They don't need a win.
If they get to the final, he has been to more finals than Mikel Arteta in under 2 years. He may not win it, but he is.
A League Cup final?
We'll get to Spurs on that point.
This is embarrassing, man. I fucking
embarrassing.
You didn't think?
No, the performance against Newcastle, that was what was embarrassing.
How is it embarrassing? Is it Mikel? Is it Arteta's fault?
Oh my God!
Yo, Connor, get ready for Stefan.
I've prepared myself. I've missed Stefan.
You know what?
First and foremost, Happy New Year, Stefan. I hope you've had a good 2025.
I just want to know, Connor, what the fuck was the manager supposed to do? Was he supposed to score the fucking chances that we created? The 6 big chances that we missed? The Havertz miss?
Let's break it
the
down.
Timber miss? The
Martinelli
post?
But let's break it down, right? What for you would have changed that game to think if we could have won that game, what would have been the difference for you? For us,
it just wasn't our day, man. If one of in the first,
what do you mean it wasn't our day? We were at home against Newcastle. We were at home to Newcastle. If it was at St James's Park, completely understand.
This was our first home loss of the
They've got
season,
2 of their players out of the game suspended. We have it in our hands. Why have we gone ahead and shoved away 23 shots on goal, 2 on target? You can't say it wasn't our day, Stefan. You can't.
What the fuck do you mean? Did you see the misses?
So hold on a minute. So if the game was now tomorrow, and we got to randomly replay the game tomorrow,
we will win the game. We'll win the game.
Oh my! This is
yeah.
what I've got to work with, guys.
It's another day. No. How can you say a game where we had an XG of 3.5, 3.6?
XG. Where was the 3 goals then? Where was the 3 goals? Where was the 3 goals if it was a 3.5?
They didn't go in. How is that the manager's fault?
I'm not blaming it on the manager. I think the manager was wrong. I think the players went wrong. I think
for what? For creating 6 big chances and losing our first
and where did they end up?
We lost our first home game of the season. That was our first loss at home of the season.
And it had to be. And Stefan, this is when I go back to my point with Arsenal. It's always in the crunch time when we need that victory, when we need that point. Arsenal will always do well when it's
under this context.
No, it's never context. If you tell me it's about
Saliba. No. Saliba injured the first season. Last season, you guys pushed Manchester City to the final day. You lost the league. Was it not by 1 point?
No, but not only that. Wait.
Teslim, we had games against Villa, Fulham, West Ham with those players in the team, and we didn't win. But it wasn't our day. It wasn't.
We won 15 of the last 17 games.
This exact same thing you're talking about happened to Liverpool severally. This exact same thing you're talking about has happened to Liverpool severally.
I really hope we sack Arteta.
Wait, Stefan, please let Connor speak.
Shitty manager that you want, and we go to fucking shit. And then I want to hear what do you have to say?
Let me ask.
Let him speak.
Stefan, I agree with you.
Stefan, the first topic of the night is the state of the club, and I mentioned that those who are usually moderate Arsenal fans, right, even the Eagles, are starting to waver these last couple of weeks, especially on Wednesday. They're starting to say close to Arteta out. The Dan Potts of the world, Lee Gunner.
Yeah, the morons.
They're ready Arteta out a long time ago. But the moderates are starting to turn towards that Arteta.
Wait, Steve. Wait, because Steve, weren't you Eddie Howe out last year?
Wait, while we're talking about Arsenal, we'll talk about
I'm just asking. Are you currently Eddie Howe out?
Yes,
still?
I still think we should do a better manager, but is he doing a brilliant job right now?
Oh, okay. So you're no longer Eddie Howe out.
I just said I was, but he's doing a brilliant job right now. So I wouldn't. But we're talking about your boys.
But by the way, which Arsenal fans? If you name the YouTubers who do it for clicks, then okay. But the fact is that Arsenal are second in the Premier League, 6 points off. We were 5 points off. We were 5 points off Liverpool last year in February. We finished ahead of them by 7 points. We've had to every single key player. Odegaard was out for 3 months. Now Saka's out for 3 months. Okay. Look at. Just give an example. I'm just going to give an example to our two most irreplaceable players. Rodri got injured. Man City collapsed pretty much. They've collapsed.
Sure. And that's a failure on them.
No, okay. And then my second example, look at the last 2 games Liverpool played. Salah, 2 of those games, the last 2 games, Salah had a below average performance. They lost one of them and they drew one of them. Exactly like last season, when in March Salah's form completely fell off a cliff and their season fell off a cliff.
But there's a big difference though. Last season, you guys were coming in hot.
We weren't, Mari. We were exactly in the same position. We were with 40 points.
This team is the same as
actually, Mari. If you look at the actual stats, Arsenal after 20 games last season had the same amount of points. This season, we've conceded less goals at this stage of the season and scored more goals at this stage of the season.
So we're on less points.
We'll check it, Connor.
The state of check it, please. Where do you think Arsenal is along as the team, the players? Because we talked about Havertz, who's getting a lot of heat. Like, what do you think is the state of the club now? You think Arsenal is at the right place at the right time?
Of course, we are. The last 3 years, arguably, we have been the most consistent because this year Man City has fallen off far more. Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can.
Yeah, sorry.
You're frozen, but you're there.
This season, Man City has fallen off far more than Arsenal. Liverpool in the last 3 years have been 5th, 3rd, and now this season they're 1st in January, which doesn't give them the actual league. Everybody wants to give them the league, including the refs, but let's not go there. But so for me, we're doing well in the Champions League. We're easily going to make top 8, which is the aim. We're still in it. Why? How is it like if you listen to Arsenal fans, you think we're Spurs or Man United, 12th and 14th? Like, I don't understand this, and I've never understood. And I just want to finish this and let the other panel talk now because I went on my. I just want to say the Arsenal fans in the stadium that left 15 minutes early, that was a disgrace. That epitomizes my fan base in a nutshell. That was our first home loss of the season. We didn't even play that badly. We just couldn't finish our dinner. Okay. You could have at least supported them and then boo them after the game. At least support them during the game. Stefan, it was
a Tuesday night. Stefan, it was a Tuesday night. I don't know if you've ever been to the Emirates.
Connor.
Listen, Stefan, I swear to God, I don't know if you've ever been to the Emirates, but if you have, you know what I'm on about.
I've been
I have
6-7 times.
The way you get out of the Emirates, there's one tube station to get to. You're being guided to the one tube station.
Connor, I've been to a Champions League game.
For 2.5 hours. If I was those Arsenal fans and I was watching that performance, once again, another boring performance from Arsenal. No motivation in the team to win the game. Same old
motivation from the team to
Can
win
we
the
get the ball through? Well, we might be able to. Can we finish it? No, we can't. Same old, same old. I don't
So you leave like a pussy, like Twitter bitch. I'm gonna leave because I didn't get the result I wanted.
Can I say, Stefan? Can I say something? Can I say something? As much as I'm going to defend Arteta, yeah, I do understand how Arsenal fans feel. This project has been going on for years, and only since the first season have they won anything. The only thing they've won since then is the Community Shield. So I absolutely understand them, and you cannot fault or shit on anybody for leaving the stadium because this Carabao Cup was something that they saw as a realistic trophy for them this season. So at least get something over the line. If they can't win the league, bro, at the bare minimum, give us a Carabao Cup or an FA Cup. Win something. Show us that this project is going in the right way. So you can't fault Arsenal fans for that. No way would you. I would not let you do that. As much as I would defend him, as much as fans. Would you let me speak, please? Would you let me speak? Would you let
Go
me
on.
speak, Stefan?
Yeah.
Thank you. As much as you I understand where you're coming from, and I understand I understand that you back this man to the edge of the earth. I can see that, but you can't fault fans for feeling that way because I know how it feels to go trophyless. I know how it feels to be disappointed. I know how it feels for you to know that your club is good enough and better than the team that you're playing in the semi-final and lose. So I know how it feels. I've been there before and I know how it feels. So you can't fault a fan for leaving the stadium and being disappointed for another season. When this project has been going on for years, when you've been spending money on top players, when you have one of the best teams in the league, and you can't win a Carabao Cup, you can't fault fans for feeling angry about that.
Let me just ask this question: if Arsenal did win the Carabao Cup, do you really think the Dan Potts of the world and the League Gunners of the world will be satisfied if, let's say, we won the Carabao Cup this year and didn't win anything else?
I don't know about Ligona, but I think anybody will be happy if their team wins a trophy.
You really think that?
Yes.
I think it's finally a step.
Everybody will be happy if their team wins a trophy.
Who haven't won anything for 50 years? Maybe for them, but I'm telling you that the new narrative will be 700 million for only an FA Cup and a League Cup.
Right, so Stefan, then.
Stefan, you know what?
For all of us to be happy, we've got to win the Premier
There will
League.
still be criticism in regards to Arsenal can win the league and they fail in Europe. Even if they won the Carabao Cup, people will always say, well, you guys didn't win the league. That's 3 straight years from. He does have a point. They'll be happy with a trophy. Yes, winning trophies. But the criticism would not
the new
go.
narrative will be that. Yeah, the new
Murray.
I think we want more, Stefan. We can't want.
I think that's when.
Trophy. Don't get me wrong, but we need more. We're Arsenal fucking football club, man. We're Arsenal football.
Connor,
Murray, you know
Connor, do you remember where we were 7-8 years ago? Do you remember where we were?
Oh my God!
Murray,
yeah, we were finishing top 4 every season. Well done.
No, we weren't, Connor. No, we weren't. Before Arteta came, we were finishing outside the top 4 for 5 years.
Yeah, and then what were we doing under Arsenal Wenger for many years towards the end of his tenure? Top 4.
Yeah, top and then top 4.
Do you know what? He was actually winning FA Cups. We're not doing that at the moment.
Okay, great. And great. And you know what? I commend Wenger for winning the FA Cups. But you know what happened every single fucking season in his last 7 years? Every season in February, we would collapse in the Champions League. Our title would collapse.
Oh, do we? What happened last season when we were in the Champions League? What happened last year? Do remind me, Stefan. Please remind me. Another crucial match where Arsenal need to win. What happened?
A crucial match against Bayern Munich.
Thank you very much. Oh, but no, it was a bad day. It was a bad day. You know, if it wasn't raining, we would have won the game. If we didn't have if we had the Premier League ball, we would have won the game, guys.
The last Champions League game we played. Wait. Before our season with Arteta last year, where we went out to Bayern Munich, the last Champions League game we played against Bayern Munich, we lost 10-2 on aggregate, man.
Oh,
you sound like a spoiled little brat.
Thank you, Arteta.
Stefan, stop doing that. That's absolutely embarrassing. Stefan, stop.
We didn't lose. We didn't concede 10 goals. We lost the game. Thank you, Arteta. Like,
Stefan,
what the fuck do I
stop.
credit the guy for, man?
Stop.
He's taking the piss.
Stop.
Thank you for helping us lose, mate. God, war a trophy. Lift that one up high. Like, come on, man. What's going on here?
Because we got knocked
Stefan,
out
please
by
stop.
Munich?
Don't do that.
So it's an achievement now to not concede 10 against Bayern. Well done, mate. Fuck
no,
me.
I'm telling you where
everything.
we came from. You're also forgetting getting knocked out by Monaco, getting knocked out by PSV, but you're too young to remember this.
But what about the years when you used to win the Premier League? What about the years when you used to win the FA Cups? Remember those years as well.
And
I'm just saying.
Wait.
Because now I feel like you're extreme. I would defend Arteta, but you're going to the extreme. What do you mean by the last time we played Bayern, we lost 10-2? What do you mean by that?
He's looking for a narrative to try and make Arteta look
what's
better.
What's your name? Because there's no label. So
my name is Teslim. TSLIM.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, dude. Like, when was the last time Arsenal won the Premier League? Can Connor tell me?
03,
04. 04. Yes, 04. So from 04 until 2019, that's 15 years. Okay, it wasn't only Arteta that didn't win the League, but let me tell you this: from 04, we challenged for the league only once, truly once, were we in the title running for the league in April and May, and that was in 07-08. Apart from that year, we have never challenged for the league since 07-08.
Right.
And Connor here, who's born after that period, who doesn't remember the Invincibles, is coming here and acting as if he grew up in the George Graham era and grew up in the fucking Invincibles.
It's kind of crazy the fact that I haven't watched us win a league title, but I don't find second acceptable. Like, it's kind of crazy.
I don't find second acceptable.
But you're out here saying, "Oh, but we're in a title race." Stefan, do you win trophies for being in a title race? Or
no, I don't want trophies. I want you to have some context for once in your life and not act like like some spoiled teenager and saying, "Oh, we gotta win this, we gotta win this."
Stefan,
I'm so sorry, guys. I'm so sorry that I want to win trophies. I'm sorry.
Wait, Connor. Stefan, I have a question for you.
Go on.
Do you think Arsenal has a squad good enough to win the Carabao Cup?
Yeah.
Right now?
Do you think Arsenal has a squad good enough?
Yes.
Do you think Arsenal has a squad good enough to win the FA Cup?
Yeah.
For sure, yes.
So why did he do it yesterday?
You don't think that you don't think that as an Arsenal fan, knowing that Arsenal have a squad good enough to win these things, you shouldn't be concerned that your club is not winning these things. At the very least.
In terms of if you're
answer yes or no. Yes or no.
I'm gonna use the same argument as Liverpool did when they lost the league numerous times to Man City by a point or two.
But they were winning other trophies.
Last season,
they won the Champions League. They won the FA Cup. They won the Carabao Cup.
It took wait. Just for comparison,
and they still ended up winning the Premier League.
Wait though. It took for the Champions League in our first season, we got knocked out against Bayern. That was disappointing. I agree. However,
Bayern team in so many years to not win any trophy. The first Bayern team in so many years to not win any trophy. There's context to that as well.
The best Bayern.
Arsenal were favorites. Arsenal were favorites going into that match.
Yeah, but
there's context to that as well.
We're favorites, but were Borussia Dortmund favorites to get to the Champions League final? Sometimes
in to do with Arsenal.
What does that? That has nothing to do with it.
I'm just saying that sometimes in cup competitions.
What?
What do you mean?
It's like
I like talking Bundesliga, but like we're talking about Arsenal. I thought. What do we?
No, but I'm giving context that sometimes the favorites don't always make it to the final or win it. Borussia Dortmund.
Exactly. I mean, if the favorites don't make it to the final and win it, then the favorites should be criticized, which is what Connor is doing. Connor is criticizing his manager for not doing what he was meant to do, and he has every right to do that.
Yeah, okay, he has the right to do that, but he needs to add context to his criticisms. He needs to add the fact.
What's the context for the Carabao Cup? What's the context for the FA Cup that he hasn't won? What's the context for the Carabao Cup that he hasn't won?
The context.
What's the context for that?
Cup, he's won an FA Cup.
No, I'm talking of the remaining. When Arsenal have had a good enough squad to win them, the ones he hasn't won. What's the context for that? Okay, I can understand the Champions League. Okay, good. It's Bayern. Is in the Champions League. I understand. Is your first season or your second season back in the Champions League? It's understandable.
First season in the Champions
League. Okay. But what about the Carabao Cup? It's not your first season in Carabao Cup.
The Carabao
it's not your first season in the FA Cup.
I will give you context for the Carabao Cup. If I'm not mistaken, since we've been good or challenging, the Carabao Cup we've been knocked out. We've had Liverpool and Man City twice in both the FA Cups and the Carabao Cups. You need also a little bit of luck. We played Man City twice away from home when we got knocked. You need a bit. Everybody knows this thing. In cup competitions, sometimes you need a bit of luck to win or with the actual draw. Like I remember when Man United won under Ten Hag their League Cup, they played every single game up until the semifinals at home, and they played pretty much every single championship side. They didn't play one Premier League side up until the semi-final.
What the fuck is this? Why are we now saying about draws being the reason for if you get through or not? Stefan, at the end of the day, right, we've sat here, right? Let's talk about this season.
I'm gonna ask you, are you stupid? So you're telling me if you get Man City away,
don't call him names.
I don't care.
Don't call him names. Don't call him names. Don't call him names.
Sorry, Connor.
Don't call him names. That's rude. Don't call him names.
No, I'm just saying. If you get Man City away in the fourth round, is it the same as if you get Accrington Stanley at fucking home?
Tottenham go Man City. Tottenham go Man City, and we battle them in the cup this season.
I have a question because this one is real big. As you can see, Isak, a player that has been on Arsenal's wish list, along with some other guys like
It always will be, by the way. Always.
Yeah,
will.
always.
Yeah,
Havertz is
we'll
taking
see, Steve. If you finish 8th
Sure.
again, he'll be gone.
your front, your attacking front
Yeah.
has been very inconsistent. I think some of your players have regressed, especially Martinelli. Like,
Yo, he's
so,
awful.
like,
Martinelli, bro.
you don't think that you need to add like some firepower in this window, January?
That's what they're trying to do now. That's one of the reasons why I would defend Arteta. That's the next part of their team that they're trying to get together now. The attack. They've worked on the defense, they've worked on the midfield. Now is to get their attack straight. It's to get their left winger, to get their striker. I do understand that it's taking a bit of time, but you guys need to think about the inflation and this context. Like,
Robert, do you know what's great?
Perez cost by 100 million.
Do you know what's
Do you
crazy?
get one?
Listen, don't get me wrong. I know strikers nowadays in the market are
And
ridiculous.
Odegaard has not been.
Sorry, I lost you. Connor, I didn't hear you.
He has not been
Connor, I didn't hear you.
creating. Only 2 assists. Like,
No, Murray. Do you know what I was going to say, right? Because obviously Tezza made a good
Connor, I
point.
lost you.
Listen, I do believe personally, yeah. Listen, I think Arsenal should have really gone in for a striker the year we got Havertz instead, personally. But here's what it is: we got Havertz, right? And listen, he hasn't been woeful. He's been all right, but he ain't been what I think he should be. But here's what it is: what with in terms of the striker market, everyone knows you're never going to get a striker for a cheap price unless you get a striker very young and he ends up becoming the next Mbappe. You know. But that's a very rare scenario nowadays in football.
But it's still possible with good scouting.
It is. But when I'm looking at Arsenal's options and I think someone who you want coming in hitting the ground running straight away, you're going to have to be paying 80 plus to 100.
You know where I think you guys messed up. I think you guys should have gone for Vlahovic earlier on that Allegri.
We tried. He wanted to go to Juventus. We tried. With
No,
Vlahovic.
I said no before, because there was this patch where Juventus was playing very horrible football and he wasn't getting any chances. It was doing a lot of dog work. You guys should have gone for him then.
Yes, but wait, Juventus had just signed him for 70 million. They're not going to let go of their most prized asset year.
They were in a financial crisis actually. So they were going to let go of anybody.
It's
They
Juventus.
changed their whole body.
Vlahovic said no, didn't he?
Yeah, Vlahovic at first of all, he rejected us for Juve because that was supposedly his dream club. He always wanted to go to Juve.
Can you guys hear?
We tried.
My director of football.
No.
My director of football was.
We tried. Look, we tried this summer with Sesko. Sesko chose, rightfully so. Then I thought it was the right choice for him. He chose for first team football to play for Leipzig, and he wasn't guaranteed. Arteta and Arsenal weren't going to guarantee him a starting pot to start because Havertz finished the season really well. So we tried for Sesko. I've always said it with Connor. We've always had debates. I thought a winger for me was more important in terms of someone with speed. I would have loved for us to sign him.
We got Raheem Sterling. We got Raheem Sterling, Stefan. Remember? He's great, right?
Well, yeah, Sterling. I mean, has been that's been a complete shit show. But we needed some sort of. We have tried, but the point for me is that we don't react to signings. If the guy isn't right and he's a lot of money, we're not just going to sign him for the sake of numbers. That is the correct way, because I remember back in the day when we'd panic in the last minutes of the transfer window, the shit shows of Lucas Perez, Mustafi, Park Chu-young. All of the Arsenal fans will know this. The absolute shit shows of signings that we have had because we've reacted to actual things rather than analyze. So if there isn't the right player, yeah, I'm sorry.
To be fair, I did defend Arteta about that. I said it that Sheshko said he didn't want to come, and if there's your man, if you're going to wait another year to get him, I do understand that. But saying things like, "Oh, in the last time we played Bayern, we lost 10-2. I'm not going to be with you on that train. I'm not going to be with you on that train." Are you making it seem like Arsenal fans are not entitled to criticize or don't have a right to criticize Arteta for having no one?
Why does it have to be?
At least.
Why does it have to be so black and white? I've never said that. I'm saying criticize, but don't criticize as if like we're like the way, for example, someone like Lee Gunner sounds. It's as if we're Real Madrid, like we weren't the banter club for fucking 7-8 years before Mikel Arteta came, where we always choked, where we always dropped off in February, where we would go away to Chelsea and lose 6-0, had the worst records against the actual top six or in any big game. Like we were what Spurs and Man United now are. Maybe not Spurs, but what Man United are currently. We were that now. I just want them to create. But when I listen to Connor and say we're expected to actually do this, yes, we are, because we are a big club. But let's not forget the context of this. Before Liverpool won their league title, they hadn't won the league for 30 years.
Oh, for fuck's sake, stop comparing us to Liverpool. Oh my God, this criticism that we've got Jurgen Klopp. If Jurgen Klopp had 5 years, we should have 5 years.
No, I'm not. First of all, I did not say that, Connor. I'm saying the context of the fact that Liverpool, for the mighty and great club that they are, the most accomplished club in the UK, they didn't win the league for 30 years, and they were expected every season to win the league for 30 years. No, so I want you to apply. I know this.
We've now got to wait 10 years to now win a league. So we've got to wait.
No, I'm not saying we got to wait 10 years.
We've got to wait about Arteta for 10 years.
We've already waited 20 years, Connor, and Arteta, of those 20 years, has been here 5 years, of which of those 20 years we have arguably actually challenged for the league 3 times. Of which 2 of those were with Arteta, and the other one was in 2007, 2008.
Right.
So again, have some context.
We didn't win it either way. Right. So the point.
Okay. No, I'm not saying we can't. Again, stop putting words in my mouth and acting like some Generation X, like snowflake. Just I didn't say that. What I'm saying is put some context into your words.
Okay. What's the context behind we lost against Newcastle?
The context is. You cannot say we have to win the league when we've only challenged literally for the league 3 times in 20 years.
Oh, that is actually fucking disgraceful. I genuinely believe we need to spend 2 billion.
Stefan.
We didn't spend £1 billion.
Stefan.
You don't think we haven't won the league title yet? It's actually rhetorical.
I think we can win.
Answer the question he asked you.
Stefan, I swear to God.
Stefan.
No.
Stefan, answer the question he asked you.
What? Sorry?
He asked you what's the context behind the Newcastle loss.
Teslim, I want to ask Teslim and Steve this. They are still here. And I just want to I want to put you through this question.
The context behind, and Steve is laughing, but we actually spoke on WhatsApp, and Steve agreed with me.
What?
But now he's changed his tune now for the show.
No. I haven't changed any tune. What?
Okay, well, it seems like you have, but okay. But the context of the game was Arsenal didn't take their chances.
You missed a shitload of chances.
We created more than enough. It wasn't like, for example, the Brighton game, which finished 1-1, where we didn't deserve to win the game, although the referee decision was a joke. But the penalty wasn't a joke. Steve,
I'm gonna be objective. I'm gonna be objective. That was kind of.
That was a penalty.
I'm not complaining.
I know, but if a Spurs fan, if Mari is telling you that's a joke, then that for me is enough. But I'm not saying we didn't deserve, like in terms of we didn't outplay Brighton or we completed, but that penalty, you will never see another penalty like this given again this year. I guarantee you that maybe penalty.
Not.
You probably might see it again because
no chance. I guarantee you.
Bad calls. I mean, the referee.
I guarantee you this: if Saliba had dived and fallen and started acting like he hurt his head, the ref would not have given it as a penalty. But because Saliba stayed up and the other guy went down as if he had been shot, even though Saliba also got a
he got head-butted. Of course he's gonna act like he got shot. It fucking hurts.
Okay, Steve. Jesus. Okay.
All right. Well, anyways,
you know what? I was really rooting for Newcastle. Now I really hope you guys just shit it out again. I really hope you're fucking 9th again. But okay. Just you saw
Connor, you wanted to ask me and see.
Anyways, go back to the game on Tuesday.
Connor, you wanted to ask me about nice.
Arsenal didn't finish their chances. They were the better team. They were the better team on the night based on every single metric that you can look at. We had
the same amount of shots on target than Newcastle. How would they? Because we have more off target.
Arsenal was the better team that night.
What the hell is wrong with you? Like, do you
Yes.
read stats? Do you understand
They
stats?
have more shots on
Those
target
stats
now.
were deceptive.
They had 4. We
Newcastle
had 3.
controlled
They
that
had
game.
4.
Right.
We had 3.
But Stephen, you sounded like us Spurs fans when we said, "Oh, yeah, we controlled the second half against Newcastle."
We
No,
did.
Eddie Howe set that thing up. He set that up for us to have the ball.
Wait,
And we did
both
that.
of Newcastle's goals, both of Newcastle's.
They were
Let's
fluky.
not talk about
Those
clubs.
were fluky.
They have more possession.
Okay.
Newcastle-
If
Newcastle,
that game,
bitch slapped both our clubs.
okay, that game reminded me exactly like last year's FA Cup loss to Liverpool, where we missed so many chances. We completely dominated the game. We should have won. And Liverpool scored a fluky own goal, just like Newcastle's first goal, which was literally a goal kick from the goalie. There was a header in the box. There was like a jumble with the ball. There was like a ricochet. It fell perfectly to Isaac, and he scored from 5 yards. I get it.
Cool. So we had
for
5
you to
chances.
act,
By the
for
way,
you to act as if Newcastle controlled the game
no,
and like
Stefan,
men
what
to play like this.
Stefan,
Okay.
what I want to throw towards you is Stefan, what I want to throw towards you is right. It's all well and good, having the most XG, having the most possession. You can say yes, we played well because we had more possession, but on the basis of the fact that we walked out of that game and now got to play a second leg at St James's Park by 2 goals down, you can't sit here and tell me. I'm not going to take the piss here, but it really does look like you're trying just to look for random positives from a game where we have taken a big loss and we've now got to go to a ground where we do struggle.
I'm not looking for positives. I was super disappointed, but it was just when
I don't think you give Newcastle credit. Newcastle this past
They had a game plan, Maury. And they stuck to that game plan.
How can you say a team that concedes 6 big chances, that concedes so many shots?
They didn't concede the goal, though. They didn't concede
because of Arsenal.
Rubbish,
Because of Arsenal, not because of Newcastle. Because of Arsenal's poor finishing.
No,
not
but we
because
came up
Newcastle
with
No.
But they still walked out of there with a clean sheet, 2 goals, and now they go to their own ground, 2 goals up, Stefan.
Yes.
Please understand this, that we have been awful in that game, and there's barely any positives to take out of it. We were awful. I don't care if we had more possession, more shots. Those shots didn't end up in the back of the net, Stefan. If they ended up in the back of the net, I would hold my hands up and say, yeah, we played good. But Stefan, at the end of the day, we're walking now to a ground 2 goals down, to a ground that we really struggle at. You can't sit here and say, but this was good, but this was good. We were awful.
Lucky.
How were we awful when you just said we had more shots. We played better.
We didn't. We had 23 shots. They had how many? But they still had more shots on goal than us, which matters more than actual shots.
Okay,
because I thought there was only 2 shots on target out of the 23. I gotta look at those stats.
We had 3. Maury, we had 3.
We'll look at the stats. I can name you.
Newcastle had 7 shots and 4 on target.
They were awful.
That's a better
quality. Timber hitting from literally 5 yards from a corner and hitting the ball not even on goal, not even in the goal. That's a better quality chance than shooting from outside the box at the goalie, Mari.
Steve, you were the better team and you deserve to walk away with those 2 goals, mate. That's the facts of the matter.
Well, and also the notion that
Tottenham fans. That's what we would say on
we're not Spurs.
Mari, we've been going on.
Mari, we need to move on from this.
Mari, we've been going on this for long. Connor, please just ask what you wanted to ask me and Steve, and let's move on.
I was just going to ask you and Steve, because obviously, to Mari and Stell as well. Big up to Stell, fraud. I hope Stell as well.
What's up,
the main base of the question.
Stell came in because I wanted to go on to the state of Spurs. We just discussed for a good hour the state of Arsenal. Stell, what is your opinion of Arsenal? Of course, Connor is like, it's basically Arteta out. He's not, the players are regressing. They're not coming through. Stefan is saying this is just like last year. They're about to go on the run, basically. So what is your view on the state of Arsenal right now?
Wait, Stefan, leave and come back because your screen looks really funny right now. You're on a frozen screen. So try leave then come back. There you go.
Oh,
I don't have him back. Don't have him back in.
as I'm about to unleash, can I wait for him to come back?
Yeah, this is a good thing still. Come on now. Like we can actually have a civilized conversation now.
But I want Stefan here. He's back. He's there. Yeah, I can see him.
There's a
His
fix
camera
now.
works. His camera works now. There you go.
Yeah, so I think look, three things. Number one, I think you're playing some of the worst football I've ever seen you play in the 5 years of Arteta. Like you're genuinely boring to watch. It's just a dreadful look. Number two,
I agree.
I told you guys you desperately need to sign a striker. I was told no. Okay, well, I think now you're seeing that you do need a striker, and Havertz is not a good player. And finally,
Of course.
I told you from day one. I told you in phase 2, phase 3, phase 4. I don't know what phase you're on. I told you every phase. Fraud Teta. He's not what you think. And I keep telling you, and I'm keep proving right every year, and you ain't winning shit this year again. I promise you ain't winning shit.
No, that's true. Yeah, it's kind of like your prediction that Ange was a genius at the start of last season.
I'm Ange out. I'm Levy out. I'm Lange out.
No, Stel.
Yeah.
No, don't tell me you're Ange out after
I'm
having
Ange
all those
out. I'm
streams.
Ange out. We
Please,
WhatsApp
please,
every
please.
week, and I tell you this. Every week,
Yes,
I tell you.
after shit hit the fan, after I told you.
Let's deflect away from Arsenal and Fraud Teta.
No,
Let's
it's
deflect away
fine,
from
it's
Fraud
fine. You
Teta.
keep saying this.
Let's ignore your shambolic forward line. Let's ignore that shit signing Mourinho. Was it
That has
Moreno?
scored the second most goals in the
Mourinho.
Premier League.
What a signing he
Our
is.
shambolic forward line that has scored more goals than your shitty team.
Brennan Johnson scored more goals than your top striker. Brennan Johnson.
Okay.
Brennan Johnson, who's shit.
And we've still scored more goals than you.
I'm just saying, you know.
Listen, we've still scored more goals than you. How do you explain that then? We've scored the second most goals in the league, and we have a shambolic.
Actually, Maddison has more goals than any of our players. Still, believe it or not.
Well, that's not true.
You know who has more goals?
He's got 8 Premier League goals.
Again, Connor, that's not true.
Sak's got more goals.
Saka has more goals. Saka has more goals. Havertz has more goals than. What are you like?
What are you talking about? Are you the Premier League?
Like,
I'm talking about the Premier League.
Yes, check. Havertz, I think, has
Havertz has 7, and
Yeah.
Saka has 6.
Okay.
Madison
And how
has
many-
8.
Madison has 8 goals.
Yes,
I know it's mind blowing.
and none of them are penalty goals. Brennan Johnson's a free, so I'll let that one slide. But
Listen, I've got no issue saying Spurs are shit. I've got no issue saying our players are
You
shit.
are shit.
I've got no.
You're
I admit it. I admit it.
yeah, you are.
I
To be fair,
admit
though,
it.
you are shit. You are really.
I admit it. Listen, I'm not hiding. It's your denial of how shit your 5-year process, £800 million funded flop.
700 still. Stop adding hundreds of millions
700. All right, bro. You
to
can have
make yourself
600.
feel better.
It's a flop. It's a flop. It has
okay.
flopped. Your fans are turning. The toxicity's back. AFTV's back. Mate, the good times are back, man. I'm loving it.
Hell, you're 12th.
You're all
You're
hiding.
12th. You're an embarrassment.
Yeah, we're
You're
shit.
12th.
Yeah, we're shit.
You've lost
We're
more
proper shit.
games.
But
Yeah, but we're not talking about Tottenham now. We're not talking about Tottenham.
And you're talking
Don't talk about my
Arsenal?
club. No, we're not talking about Tottenham here.
Do you know what the worst thing is? Do you know what the worst thing is? We're shit
That
than
you're
you,
shit,
and
that
we
you'll
are
always
closer
be
to a
shit?
trophy than you. And we are closer to a trophy than you.
If Ange
You're
makes the
closer.
final,
We are
he's
closer
doing
to
the
a
same
trophy.
amount of finals that Mikel Arteta
How are
has.
you close? Yes,
If he
yes,
makes the
it's
final.
you're gonna be so close to a trophy that when you go to Anfield and get butt fucked 4-0, then you'll be really close.
Maybe,
You'll be really
maybe,
close.
maybe we're 1-0 down.
What do you mean maybe? You've
We're
won
1-0
8 times at Anfield
You're
in
2-0
100
down.
years.
They didn't even have Guimaraes. They didn't have Schur, and they still
And we
popped
didn't have
you
Saka.
on your turf. On your
And we didn't
turf.
have Saka, Stel.
beat you
We
on
didn't have
your
our best
turf.
player. We didn't have our
On your
best player.
turf. Oh, Saka.
Stefan, you can't say Saka because Saka is an attacker, not a defender.
And guess what? It's your
Saka is an
manager's
attacker, not
fault
a
that
defender.
that Saka's injured. It's your manager's fault. It's
May I
entirely his fault.
just point
Yes,
out?
it is entirely his fault.
Newcastle haven't beaten us at home since the 7th of November.
Andy Carroll.
2010.
I want to know.
They
Right?
beat
I
us,
want to
okay.
know, Stefan. I want to know how you've spent £700 million to become a Stoke City Saka FC. Is this what the project was about? Is this what this was all about?
No, Stel.
It's unbelievable.
No, Stel. We just, you know, we we scored more goals than the Invincibles last season.
Oh,
And
what
this
a
season,
Invincibles?
we've scored-
We got more goals than the Invincibles. Yay! We didn't win the Premier League, but we got more goals than
Wait. I have a question. Stefan.
No,
Stefan.
Connor. The fact that you said
Stefan.
you wanted Ange as a coach last year, your opinions are
I literally
completely.
said I was wrong.
Stefan, I have a question for you.
There's no point to your
Stefan, I have a question for you. Stefan, I have a question for you.
The fact that you can make fun and be okay when you said this statement, and now you can act like you can backtrack it and say it was in the moment.
Let's
No, I'm sorry.
Wait, Stefan, I have a question for you. Stefan, I have a question for you. I have a question for
my
you.
hands up.
Is there anything?
Don't
Is there
put your
anything?
hands up and then say, "Oh, it's okay. I didn't mean to say Ange."
Yeah,
No, don't
at
put your
least
hands up like fucking Lee
like
Gunner.
someone who can never
Stefan.
admit that he's wrong.
Lee Gunner was
Oh no,
right.
it's fine.
Lee
Oh no,
Gunner
it's
was
fine.
right.
You said it, you were wrong. It's fine. Everybody gets it wrong at times.
Right.
It's fine. Stefan, I have a question for you.
Yeah, tell me.
Is there anything that you fault Arteta for?
Nope.
Fault him for?
Let him answer. Yeah, like that you don't agree with him. That you think he messed up.
He wears the wrong cologne, Tesla. He wears the wrong cologne.
Maybe in terms of the actual signings this year, if I was Arteta, the 40 million that he spent on a left back in Calafiori, although I thought we needed a left back because of Zinchenko and Tomiyasu's injuries, I think I would have signed a winger. That's what I would fault him for. But every single season,
Stefan, I think Calafiori.
You guys let him speak now.
Marino. What do you think of Mikel Marino? Then do you like him?
Mikel, he hasn't been the actual game changer.
I think we should have.
He was never a game changer. He's an average.
But do you know what's actually great? Do you know what's crazy, guys? You know, we spent 107 million euros. I see on transfer market this summer, and we made back 83.5 million euros. So we've spent around what 20
Yeah,
million
we haven't spent that much. No.
So I don't understand why we couldn't have gone out and made that winger signing striker.
We tried, Connor. We tried to sign Kudus.
Oh my God!
We tried to sign Kudus,
but we had about another 2 months to sign another striker.
But Connor, how many times do I have to tell you? It's not about signing a player for the sake of it.
What do you mean? We've needed a striker for like 3-4 years. What do you mean for the sake of it?
We tried to sign
phase 8.
Style, you're onto something.
Wait till phase 8, and then the striker will come.
I can't wait till phase 8. I'll probably be a skeleton.
You might have to wait until phase 9. Phase 8 might be too early. You know?
Can I ask you, Connor?
Steve,
you mentioned
which phase are you guys in? Because it's been 50
I don't know,
years
we're
since
in-
one
we're in-
fucking
we're-
something.
Bro,
What
we're
the
in
fuck
phase
are you
six.
talking? Like, as
We're
if
in-
you're some cocky little.
Stefan, they haven't spent. Actually, I think they've probably spent 700 million together.
You haven't won anything in 50 years, my man. Stop
To be-
talking to
said
this
we
like
was
you're
in-
some
I
like
never- I
big
never-
shot. Like you're Liverpool or something.
to be phase 69. To be fair to Steve, his manager never said trust the process.
Yes.
And
But
his manager
Actually, Stefan, I blame your manager with that trust the process.
statement from our manager with your fucking manager.
No, actually, I blame Arteta with the whole trust the process stuff because now our fan base is using it with Edge. Trust the process. We want to get this guy out. We're like,
No, it's not only trust the process. Don't forget what your coach said in September. I always win things in my second season.
Yeah,
But Anjao is a waffle.
Connor, when your panties were in a twist last year after we lost to West Ham in the League Cup, and you said it's over, the season is over, and then Arteta
it was over. Did we win anything last season? Did we win anything last season? It was over then, wasn't it? Thank you very much.
Okay,
Guys,
We had to lose to Man City on purpose, man, as well. We had to lose on purpose as well. Do you know how difficult it was for us to do these?
Sorry, man.
It just epitomized your loser fan base celebrating losing in a stadium.
We won the same as you.
That's you.
But we won the same as you. I got a question for Connor.
You're amazing. You're amazing.
We won the same as you. Listen, I've got a question for Connor.
No, you haven't won the same as us. We're far bigger than you.
No, last year you won nothing. Last year.
Oh, okay. No, we won an FA Cup still. You've won nothing for 15 years.
That's 5 years ago.
And a major trophy in 30.
Are we doing this? We're going back in time.
Calm down.
We can do that as well.
What? Sorry?
I want to ask Connor a question, right? He said on the financials, you said that you spent 107 million and you sold 80 million. So roughly you net spend was roughly 20 million, yeah?
Bang on.
Right. That
pull
20
this
million. Okay.
Yeah, baby.
Right. That 20 million pounds. Do you think Arteta could have put that towards buying Puma football so that he could prepare for the Carabao Cup semi-final?
Wait, Stefan, you can't back
that was another fake media narrative.
You can't say anything
Fake
good about
media
that.
narrative.
I think there's enough money to buy footballs to properly prepare for a semi-final of the cup.
The reporter literally asked him, "Is there many managers have complained about the balls?"
No,
my
about the balls.
God, I can't.
What was he supposed to answer? The reporter asked him that question.
has responded to Mikel Arteta's tricky ball controversy.
He literally can't do any wrong, can he? He can't.
It's just hilarious.
You know what? He could do a mass murder and he'd still be called.
Yes,
Right.
Connor, you're right. You're right.
Used in other major European leagues, including both Serie A and La Liga.
No, honestly, guys, what the fuck was
You know
he
what I
supposed to
think?
answer? Can somebody answer me this question? Connor, Mr. Winner.
Yeah, hello.
What was he supposed to answer? The
Yo,
reporter
Mario,
asked
pull
him.
it up.
Ignore it and move on.
Okay,
Mario,
what was he
pull it
supposed
up,
to
hold up,
answer?
How
Can you
about
tell
just
me
say-
what was he supposed to answer?
Be a normal manager and say, yeah, do you know what? We were all
normal
today. It wasn't the ball's fault.
He didn't say it was the ball's fault.
Yes,
He just said it was
He said
different.
the balls are different. Like, do
Okay,
me a
did he
favor.
blame? Okay, in the first questions, in the match analysis of the game, did he ever mention the balls as the reason as to why Newcastle beat
but
Arsenal?
Stefan, the point of the matter is,
The fuck
and
is no? You're just like
I'm going to answer your
you're just
question. I'm
looking
going to
for
answer your
things.
question. Can I answer your question? Can I answer it?
I love
Thank
the
you very
Arsenal civil war, man.
There's been many
We've
a
got
times when
Arsenal.
Mikel Arteta.
Go back.
There's been many times when Mikel Arteta has been asked stuff about, say, transfers or players leaving the club. But he always says, we're not going to talk about that. So why, when someone asks him about a football, he says, yeah, it's different. I don't really. I think that's the reason we find it hard to adapt to our play.
No, he didn't say
just
that.
move on from the question.
He didn't say that. Stop making shit up.
And what did
He
Stel
said, he said the ball flies differently. You have to
adapt to that because it flies differently. Can you actually piss off? Not you, him, Arteta. Arteta, piss off. He has to piss off.
How is he making an excuse?
It was the same football. It was the same football when you beat Crystal Palace in the quarterfinals.
Yeah, and Bolton and Preston. But the ball.
The reporter asked him a question. The reporter asked him. Many managers have complained
his
about the
response
ball.
was hilarious.
Did the ball fly differently for Newcastle? Because they seemed all right with the ball.
But he didn't mention the ball as a factor. He didn't mention the ball when they asked him, "What do you think of the result and the loss?" He didn't say, "Oh, the ball was different."
Oh, there you go.
Fucking shocking, man.
The EFL have responded as well. They've actually they've actually entertained it.
They entertained this fucking nonsense.
We will forever be a banter club while this guy's here. And we were a banter club before, and don't get me wrong.
So the EFL replied in addition
we actually responded.
We should bring back
This
Emery,
is
right?
embarrassing.
Remember that narrative?
Yeah, Tesla.
We've
got to keep
him
him.
because he's been shit again, or
he's the man. He's the man. He's the man to take Arsenal to glory.
I mean, Aston Villa could. Aston Villa probably going to get further in the UCL than you are. So, like, maybe you should bring back Emery.
So,
how are they further in the UCL than we are?
No, I'm saying they're going to finish. They will. They can make a semifinal. They can make a semifinal. You guys are.
They can make a semifinal.
Yes,
but
and
we can't make a semifinal.
Absolutely not.
So let's bring up Spurs,
and you're gonna finish 8th again because you're shit.
All right, so we're an hour and 15 minutes into the show, and we've talked about Arsenal, state of Arsenal, state of Spurs.
I can't wait for this now.
Yesterday was a shock because we didn't expect
it. Really wasn't. The ref won you the game yesterday.
Oh my God! Here we go.
After my monologue.
I'll let you three riff into that one.
As you know, as our fan base, we won yesterday. All is good, but it was one win out of the last 8 or 9 games that we have played. And so the state of Spurs, for me, is still the same. It's still 110% edge out. We are still in trouble. We may beat Tam Worth or Tam Ward or whatever Tam it's called on Saturday.
That would be absolutely. If you guys beat Liverpool and then lose to Tamworth, that is
Could
probably
happen.
going,
Could happen.
that is going to be the Spursiest thing ever. By
Could
far.
happen.
Tamworth,
No, I am happy because we are closer to touching a trophy. But we all know that it's going to take a tall order going to Anfield and seeing Ange actually play consecutive games or consecutive legs, being pragmatic. So yesterday was definitely shocking, but I enjoyed it. It made me happy because I was depressed. But the state of Spurs right now is that we're in a whole lot of trouble, and I still want Ange out. So we know what Stell thinks. We'll go to him last, but we'll get from an Arsenal perspective. Yes, what is the state of Spurs? We'll start with Connor.
Well, I'll give you a logical answer instead of all just hating on you. But listen, no, don't get me wrong. You're shit. You have been extremely shit. You know, I've got to keep honest and real because Stell will banter Arsenal to high heaven, so I got to do it back in it.
Hey, Connor, by the way, after the Newcastle game, did he message you again after 2 months of not messaging?
I have this back and forth with Stell that he only messages me when we lose, not when we win.
Yeah, that's what he does too, and it's rare because Arsenal rarely lose when you win.
I had to wait to the end of the phase though, because
okay.
Yeah.
Anyway, listen. Spurs are obviously in a rut. They're in the same rut that they've always been under, and you know, at the end of the day, listen. It's weird because there'll be times when Ange's system randomly will work, but 85% of the time it won't work. And it's obvious to everyone that his system isn't custom to the Premier League, and he hasn't decided to adapt to it, and he's sticking by his word. He's a very
really
he seems very proud of his system. I mean, to be fair, obviously won him trophies in the Scottish League, and fair play. You know, congratulations for that. But you bring it over to the Premier League, it's not always going to work, mate. So for me personally, listen, I've always said this. You know, I knew this day would come when Son's now started to really drop off. I personally thought, when Kane left, you should have done the same and got rid of him. But I do understand the reasoning because you can't get rid of both of your two best players in your squad at the same time. But if I look at it in my eyes as a Spurs fan, maybe get rid of them both at the same time and get big money for Son, get big money for Kane, and really start a big rebuild. But then again, putting that amount of money into Daniel Levy's hands is probably not a good idea. So probably best you didn't do that. But Spurs are just in need of a major rebuild, and God knows when that will actually start or happen. Because under Daniel Levy, you'll get a new manager. There will be a quote unquote rebuild, but then it'll all go back to the same thing after a couple of years. So, in my opinion, Spurs are just being Spursy, but by God, if you somehow win that cup, I'm disappearing for 6 months. But listen, in my opinion, I think if I need to be non-biased and give reasons for you to somewhat improve, I mean, if you were to keep Ange, he's got to stop being so proud about the system and actually accept that it's not going to work and realize that he actually has some decent players on his roster. Not a lot, but he's got some. I really honestly do like, even though obviously in terms of, in most recency, if we're talking about your defense in terms of recent years, it hasn't been great, but I'm not going to lie, your defense at the moment, I actually think it's the best part in terms of the quality you've got in the four, Doggy, Romero, Van de Ven, and Porro. They're four really good players. So I think he's got
half of them.
He's got some players that he can work with, but if you want to work with a squad and really build a foundation, you've got to let go of the ego, let go of how proud you are of something, and be ready to adapt. And maybe you may see change. I don't know, but it's all well and good saying about the Carabao Cup, but listen, at the end of the day, I like to think a cup competition can be a bit different in terms of a league, progressing in a league. Because obviously, cup competition, you don't know who you're going to come up against. It could be a bit different. You can adapt to different situations. Your system may work in a Carabao Cup game because it's a cup fixture, going through. But in terms of a long-form league basis, it's obviously not going to work. And obviously Spurs fans know it's not going to work, majority of them. So in my opinion, if you're going to keep Ange, he's got to obviously let go of this whole high line bollocks because it's just not going to work in the long term. And he's got to somehow find a way to adapt with his players because I don't think Spurs' squad, I know, actually, let me get it straight. I don't think their 11 is completely awful. There's definitely some really awful players in there, but obviously the bench, a good bit of the depth is extremely shit. So
wait, Connor, are you saying Timo Werner isn't a great, depth piece for them?
did any Spurs fans say he was?
So Stephen, I throw it to you, but I throw this question in.
Yeah.
Does a better manager do better with this squad than Ange? I throw that extra question along with the state of Spurs.
No, in terms of I've calmed down now. Sorry guys. I'm gonna give a very accurate, I would say objective reflection for Spurs. I predicted this last season. I was one of the first on the show, including you, Mario. You were also skeptical, but I just think this season, not only is the system, as Connor said, not suitable for the Premier League and just physically impossible when it's every three days you play a game in Europe. But I just think it's also from a physical standpoint to the players. You look at the injuries and all of the muscle injuries that all the players have gotten, especially the defenders who play the high line. You say about Arsenal's players have regressed. Literally, I would say all of Spurs players this season, including the ones that were
I agree.
The most consistent. Pedro Porro this season has been really poor. Udogie has been, I know he's been injured, but he's been, he's not being good this year. And he's now injured again for 2 months. Van de Ven has been injured for almost 3 months now. Romero is injured for 2 months. All of these things could have been prevented. But on another note, I look at Spurs and I do think that if you had a more pragmatic manager, someone like a Thomas Frank or a Marco Silva from Fulham, I do think he would be higher. But even with the quality of the squad that you have, I honestly think that my highest prediction would be with European football. You have to take that into context because Newcastle this year are really good. They're not shit. I'm sorry, Steve. They're really good, but they're really good because of the fact that they don't play three games a week.
Yeah.
And I said this at the end of last season with Aston Villa. I said they will drop massive, and they have this year. So I just think I would say 7th was your best. I would say the maximum.
Maybe 6th.
Maybe, but 6th. I think if they were to get in the Europa League spots, it would have to depend on the other teams maybe dropping, the ones that were ahead of them. But I think they have the 7th best squad in the league, and he's greatly under achieving with that. I think his tactics are poor. I think the attacking football that all Spurs fans, I think it's even that Liverpool game. I mean, I don't know why everybody is laughing. Bergvall should have been sent off. I was happy. I was actually for Spurs because I want Liverpool to now go through a bad spell. Let's be honest, that was a clear second yellow card. He should have been sent off. But good that he didn't send him off and then he scored the winner. But the game was exactly what I didn't see any difference from Spurs. I remember the final 15 minutes. I just thought Liverpool were just off their game. They were. I didn't think I saw the same massive gaps in midfield with Basuma. He did play better than usual, but he was still, there were times where Liverpool were running through your midfield and vice versa. Spurs were also running through theirs. But, I've never been convinced by the style. I think it's one thing though, some positivity, been really, really impressed with Gray. Really, really. I think Gray has the mentality to be a really good player.
What about
Spence as well. Spence also, but
this is the most honest thing I've heard Steph ever say on this channel. I've never heard him talk like this before.
Same.
Yeah,
shocked.
Same.
Archie Gray, you know, the shit that's been thrown at him in terms of he has to play center back with like fucking, you know, with
Left
makeshift
back, right back.
right back, left back. He's never played in his original position and he hasn't complained. Spence, I'm gonna give him a little less credit because Spence has a point to prove, and you know, I mean, another amazing decision. Him putting 4 goalkeepers in his Europa League squad and not putting Spence in. That was and people are gonna credit Ange for playing Spence. Fuck off. He only played Spence because he had no other choice.
I agree.
Yeah, he had no other choice. Like, I'm
Damn,
sorry, because the injury crisis was so bad because of him. And just the final thing is when people use injuries as an excuse, yeah, that's on your coach because your coach put Romero and
100%.
Van de Ven. No,
I've
wait,
been saying that for weeks.
Van de Ven and Romero.
Injuries. I'm like, we're always going to have injuries because of Ange.
No, you won't have as many injuries if you have 1 game a week, and you'll be better. But with the moment you have 3 games a week where you have to go away to Rangers, where they're gonna kick the shit out of you, and like places like Galatasaray where you're gonna travel, that type of style. Every time I watch Solanke play 3 games a week, by the 3rd game of that week, him and Kulu are completely finished. They're spent. They look by the 70th minute, they're dead.
Yeah.
So yeah,
He's been struggling the last couple of games because he's spent. He's spent. You get love in the chat. People are like, "Whoa, what happened to Stefan?" He's actually on point about Spurs.
No, I'm not. I'm just being real. But let's be honest, though. The final thing is if you look at some of the stats, like, I don't know if this is true. Stel can confirm. But is it true this guy has a worse points per game ratio than your biggest joke of a manager, the famous German guy from the 90s?
Christian Gross?
Yeah, he has the worst.
So he's got a worse points ratio than him. He's lost more games in 2024 than he's won. He has a higher loss rating since those first 10 games than he has win ratings.
But people love him, Edge.
Let's be honest. The actual stats are shocking. And the only thing that's putting
people love Edge. He's the savior.
Yeah, but wait.
Let's talk about him.
No, but the only thing that's putting lipstick on a pig is this League Cup semifinal, which people which people have against selective amnesia. Because in the first round of the League Cup, when you played Coventry, you were so fortunate to go through in that game.
Yeah, I agree.
So
and you guys see how easy it is to be objective when it's not your club.
But then we beat Man City, Man United.
You beat those teams at home. Man City played with a 16-year-old at center back style. Like Man City, even Pep.
We beat Man City 4-0 away as well, Stefan. In the league.
Okay, yeah, 4-0. Okay. You beat Man City 4-0 away, but you also lost at home to Ipswich. You lost.
No, the League Cup.
In the League Cup.
In the League Cup, we've had to beat Man City, Man United, and now we have to beat Liverpool to go to the final. Like, we've beaten the biggest teams in England.
Man United are going to get they're like relegation candidates.
Bro,
they
got
a 2-2 draw.
So what? Fulham got a 2-2 draw at Anfield.
Bro, Stefan,
Fulham's a good team this year. You couldn't beat Fulham.
Stefan.
You couldn't beat them.
Man United and Spurs.
At their ground, still. At their ground. Sorry.
We never beat Fulham. I'm just saying.
Liverpool couldn't beat them at Anfield.
I'm just saying, if you go on a cup run, you don't want to play City, Liverpool, United. And if we get to the final, it's Newcastle, Arsenal as well. Like, if we win this cup, we would have had to beat 4 of the biggest 6 clubs in England.
That's a
but still, here's the little bit of luck that you did have. You played all these teams at home still. That's a big advantage.
Second legs at Anfield, though, right?
They literally,
true. That you're fucked. But
if we get to the final, I think we deserve it.
But out of all those games that you named, the only game that you had to play away, you got battered and should have lost that game easily.
Yeah, but we didn't. We didn't.
Yeah, but you've also got to look into you've also got to pay to the fact that in different scenarios, Tottenham played Liverpool this season and conceded 6. went to this game, conceded none, and actually won the game.
Listen,
Played
guys,
City,
I
played City
personally,
away and smashed them, and then done the same thing. You know, it's not.
I
hate the excuse of it's home and away. You know, it's
but
like
you're right. You're right. I personally said when they did the draw, we were live, and I said as the draw was happening, I hope we don't get Liverpool and the second legs at Anfield, and that's exactly what happened.
It's exactly what happened.
Listen, let me show you something.
But still,
Stefan, let me show you something. I want to show you something. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this.
Yeah. Still,
That's crazy.
I actually read an even
What is
worse.
that?
No, wait, guys. I read a worse stat. Is it true
We've won
that
once at Anfield since 1999.
No, but wait,
if
stop.
we
oh,
get a
that
draw, though,
woman's face on the side. She's like, "Fuck that shit."
No,
If
but
we
wait,
get a
stop,
draw,
stop.
we go
Is
through
it
it, but I
true?
don't think
Is
we're
it
gonna
true
draw.
that in 100 years you've only won in Anfield in all competitions 8 times? Is that fucking true? I think that's
five.
It's worse
It's
Yeah,
5.
yeah.
Yeah.
in
Two in the
100
cup.
years.
2 in the
Yeah,
cup, 5 in the
Stefan,
league.
Stefan,
3
let
in the
me pull
league.
up a
Yeah.
Stefan, let me pull up a website. It's
This
called
is why I said. This is why I said I don't want the second leg at Anfield, because for me, I think we go out now. If the second leg was at Spurs, I'd say game on. We got a chance. But at their
Yeah.
ground, and they're going to feel this injustice that they've been
Yeah,
conned,
they're gonna be
and that
pissed.
Bergvall shouldn't have been.
They're
and
gonna
it's
be
all-
pissed.
Listen, I think we're going to go there. I think we're going to give them a game, but there's going to be this controversial moment, and we're going to go out on it. And I just think that's what's going to happen.
No, still, I guarantee you, in the next few weeks and maybe in your game, the refs are going to compensate for that mistake. I guarantee you. They're going to compensate.
The thing is,
guarantee
Bergvall
you.
shouldn't have got a yellow card in the first place. Diaz dived.
I know he dived, but the second foul still was a yellow. It was a
The
clear
second
yellow.
was, but the first one wasn't, though, man. It's like
First
it
one
kind of
was.
balanced out.
But still, he got a yellow, and that was a yellow card. It's kind of like the Arsenal Newcastle game where Dan Burn deliberately handled. That should have been a second yellow. That should have been a. It what?
Did you see
Yeah, they
Dan
should have
Burn
been.
against Tottenham?
It should have
that's
been a
how Dan
second
Burn
yellow,
plays.
Steve. He deliberately handled the
Wait,
ball.
are you talking about the Spurs game?
No,
Yeah,
the
Dan
Arsenal
Burn
game.
was lethal
In the
against.
Arsenal game?
Yeah, he was on a yellow
What?
card and then he deliberately handled the
When
ball.
was this?
Guys, can I tell you what my biggest worry about Anfield is? I think if Spurs currently go to Anfield, play pragmatic, don't invert the fullbacks, hold back, and try and defend, I think we might get something out of the game. I'm not saying we will.
Let's not put the piss there. As Roy Hodgson.
No, hear me out. No, hear me out. No,
Piss.
Connor, just hear me out. Just hear me out. I'm being sensible here. I watched Man United go there, and I watched how they dropped into a back 5 with the 4 in front and 1 striker. And in possession, they went to a back 3, not a 2, not in a high line, in a 3, a bit deeper, and then tried to hit the counter. That suits Spurs. That suits us.
It does.
My concern,
That's true.
it suits us. My concern is this.
And
Yeah, because what I think is going to happen is this, guys. Van de Ven comes back, Romero comes back, and he thinks, I can play my way again. And we go to Angeball, we get pumped.
no, still, he's gonna. I guarantee you, if Romero and Van de Ven, even if they're on one leg, they're gonna play that game.
And
He's
it's
gonna
gonna
risk
cost
them
us.
again.
I personally think. Don't you think if we play Van de Ven and Romero, he's going to think I can play my football again, and that's what's going to cost us. Whereas if he's forced to not play that football, I think we've got a chance.
I just think it's the worst because, for example, Arsenal lost 2-0 to Newcastle, so I can see a world where Arteta says we're going away to St. James Park. Like we have games pretty much every 3 days. Like I'm gonna rotate. Like we have a small chance of like coming back. But because it's 1-0 and they're gonna go to Anfield and they're gonna be fucking pissed because of the Bergvall decision, they're gonna have all the stadium and the motivation to get back at you. And
a full strength team. They're going to start their best team in that game.
So Arne Slot is gonna go for it because it's 1-0. All they need is 1 goal. And one thing's for sure, Stel. Whenever you're under the cosh, Spurs completely fold. And at Anfield, when they get on you, Anfield is one of the worst stadiums for the crowd to get on you.
Yeah, I know. Do you want me to show you the stats again? Do you want me to show you
To be fair, both teams really should be playing their full squad because
we will go full strength.
No, I'm saying with Arsenal as well. I think we should all play us because then our next game after that game, which is on the 5th. Our next game's on the 15th. So I think if Arsenal really want to go ahead, I think
Connor,
we should
I'm sorry to say it to you guys, right? And it's not because I hate Arsenal. If you don't sign a goal scorer, I think you're out. I honestly think you're out.
You're out. Well, still,
Because you'll get chances. You'll get chances, St James's, but are you going to convert them?
Still, here's the issue.
Are
though.
you
He's
going to
gonna
convert
rotate.
them?
He's not going to prioritize. If Newcastle had won 1-0 still, I think Arteta would have played pretty much the full squad. But we're going to play. We have every 3 days games now, every single 3 days pretty much until I think the mid-February. I honestly think Arteta's going to look at it and say, if let's say I honestly predict next 3-4 games, I think Liverpool are going to drop points. And we have the potential because we have 3 home games in a row. Liverpool have 3 away games, if I'm not mistaken. They have away to Bournemouth, away to Nottingham Forest, and if I'm not mistaken, away to Brighton in 3.
Stefan, I'm not taking a mic here. I know it's Spurs, but this is 3 hard.
Oh, Brentford. Sorry, Brentford.
All
potential.
You're not going to beat us, by the way.
Advantage.
So are you serious against that? We're going to fucking
I'm
wipe the
serious.
floor with you again.
No, I don't think you are. I think you're going to draw. I think we're going to draw.
Oh,
Still,
yeah.
you can't.
Maury, be available Tuesday. We're
I'm
doing
serious.
this.
I would say this. It is the
Listen, we're the kind of team that's going to do that shit.
No, you're not.
We're like that.
No, you're
Stefan,
not.
we're the kind. Stefan, we will come to you, get a draw, then go and
I
play
was
Leicester.
worried
and lose.
about United.
Still, you couldn't beat us without Declan Rice, Odegaard. Half of our team was injured or suspended at Spurs.
Last
and
year,
you know
last
why
year
you
we drew
beat me.
2-2. Last year we drew
Yes.
2-2.
You drew 2-2. Okay, Arsenal's worst game of the season and your
Stefan,
best game.
not
of
good.
the
Stefan,
season.
We're not good now.
We couldn't beat Liverpool
You're not
with
good
all the
now.
medicine, but we did it with
We're better
Belgium.
than you,
It's
Stel.
Tottenham.
We're
It's
better
what
than
we
you.
do.
I don't know, man. You're dodgy at the moment, Stefan.
It's
I
what we
think- I
do.
think-
How are
We did the same thing to
This is our
Liverpool.
first
What do you
loss.
mean? How are you
You
done?
guys
This
have
is our first
you guys
loss
are
in
not
3
in good
months.
form. You guys are not in good
We
form.
lost to Ipswich and
You're not in good
destroyed
form.
Manchester City 4.
Yes,
It's what Tottenham do.
but you also went away to Bournemouth and got absolutely destroyed.
And you did
But we
too.
also beat Manchester. We just beat Liverpool as well.
We've got a red card, Steve.
After losing 6 to them before. Tottenham is so
at your
unpredictable.
ground. Still knows this. Your away record is horrendous. Maybe not this
Let's
season.
Let's see, Shah.
disingenuous. I think we're going to beat you at our ground. I think
Yeah.
that's a bit disingenuous.
Right, can I
I
say
would be
this to
worried
you?
about the Man United.
Connor, you think you beat us without Saka?
I would be
Can I-
worried about
Can I exactly?
It's listen,
got the
it-
goal
test-
scorers.
I think it's a North London derby. Form goes out the window, even though we don't have
Exactly. That suits us.
well, of course.
We're
but
on
I'm
the
looking
shit
at the
form.
statistics. Are you going
Beat that last
you're not
year.
going to have Romero or
We're
Van
the
de Ven?
we've
Still,
got the
wait.
shit
Still,
form.
there's
do you
no- there's
realize?
no way.
Still,
There's no way.
I just wanted
Connor,
do you
Connor, listen
realize
to what you just
haven't-
said.
But wait, still.
You just
do
said
realize
form goes out the window.
Form goes out
We've
the
got
window,
the
but
shit
still
form.
matter the
But
fact.
wait. Still, do you realize since the Emirates Stadium was built, there's not a stadium, including Stamford Bridge, that you have lost more than an Emirates? There's
I
not
know.
another. You have
I
no
know.
worse record than any other
Yeah.
stadium.
I know.
So how are you confident?
Well, they have a worse record than Anfield.
Because I've got a feeling,
No,
guys.
no.
I'm telling you
Steve.
why.
No,
I'm
that's
telling
wrong,
you why.
Steve.
I'm telling you why. I've got a feeling Man United are going to do a number on you this weekend.
I
And
do
your
too.
Yes,
confidence is
I
going to be
just
shattered.
I just said that. That's
Wait,
how-
Wait, here's the thing, let's
Amarim,
see.
I think he's got a plan, and I think he's going to pull it off.
Yeah.
And you're going to come
But
against us.
still, here's the issue. He might have a plan, but they can't defend set pieces for shit. Still, every single set piece against
Yeah,
Man
but
United.
Stefan,
we
you
played
had chances in the Newcastle game on
Yeah.
set pieces, and you completely fluffed them.
Okay, we fluffed him against Newcastle. Who says we're gonna fluff them against Man
Okay,
United?
Stefan, can I ask you a
We
question?
didn't
then? Can I
fluff
ask you a
them when we
question?
played Man United last time. We
But
scored.
Stefan,
from-
let me ask the Arsenal fans a question. If, okay, we don't know. If you lose to United, okay, it's a big if. If you lose to them, would you be worried about the Spurs Arsenal game next?
Yeah, 100%.
Actually,
100%.
no, because
That's 3 bad games
No.
at running form in a
no,
row.
I'll tell you
Do
why.
it again
Because
against one of our biggest rivals. Yeah,
I'll
100%.
tell you why. I'll tell you because as Stel said, form goes out for the derby. The players are going to be really up for it, and Arsenal will still work. You will not, at most, Stel. If you're lucky, you get a draw at most, but you're not getting a draw with that defense, Stel. You're going to give us chances, and we will score.
You do still come on. You do have to put it into perspective.
We just beat Liverpool with that defense.
Yeah, and nobody thought that they would beat
Van de
Liverpool.
Ven apparently is back
Exactly.
to the North London
No,
derby.
Yeah, but
We just beat Liverpool with that defense. Salah was quiet
Yeah,
with
but
that
Liverpool
defense.
still had chances.
no, Teslim. Nobody thought you were going to beat Liverpool yesterday.
I predicted
I
Liverpool
did.
lost.
I
And
did.
that's the exact same situation with Arsenal as well. Nobody thinks we're going to win, but it's what Tottenham do.
We were going to beat Liverpool yesterday.
Yes, I actually predicted.
Why?
I did.
Why did you predict that? Why did you predict that?
Because
There's no way
yeah,
you predicted the fucking.
I'll tell you why.
Tottenham, man. There's
Because
no
I
way.
have because I have told you this in the chat. Liverpool are looking exactly like the same team they did last season, which is as the new year
No,
hits.
they're not.
Well,
Go
how?
on, sorry.
Let him
Go
finish. I want to hear this.
No,
I want to hear
Steve,
this.
you were exactly the same last year when I predicted this with Liverpool. They're looking more ropey in midfield. They're looking open style and defensively. Kanate, I've told you this before. Whenever he comes back from an injury, he's not the same player, and he was horrendous against Man United and was the main reason why you guys scored the goal. He lost the actual duel with Solanke, opened up the space for Bergvall because he was out of position, and
Great
Bergvall
goal, by the
scored.
way. I got to say that was a fucking. Good
So-
goal.
so-
That
let
was
me ask you
no,
this
but he was horrendous,
goal.
Connor. He was horrendous
Stefan,
against Man United. Also, he was
You
poor in that
think-
game.
But you think that same team's going to beat us at Anfield then?
I don't rate you as a team. I think when the going gets tough with you guys fold. And at Anfield,
Same for us though, Stefan. You got to.
I
keep it
disagree.
real.
I disagree. I disagree with us because
Do you know why I say? Do you know just Stefan? Do you know what I say? Right. This is what I think with Arsenal. I think with Arsenal, when it comes to no pressure, we will play very well. And I've
Yes.
always said that. You know, when it's mid-season, you know, you're getting into form. Arsenal win games. I'm never going to say Arsenal just completely outright shit, but I've got to say, and I would like someone to really please give me 2 or 3 times in the last couple of years where we've proved my point wrong. When it comes to the crunch time and we have to win a certain game to get us either to a final or to progress us into a stage where we're going to possibly win a trophy, we always do crumble. This isn't about Spurs, by the way. I'm talking more about towards Man United on Sunday. So Spurs, I do think we're going to win anyway. But when it does come to crunch time, and please someone do go against me on this, I think we do always fail. When it really comes to that moment where we've got to win a game, whether it's to have 3 points to get that league title, or it's to have 3 points to progress in the Champions League. We always crumble.
But wait, last season you say crunch time, right? We won 15 of our last 17 games.
Yeah, and
what happened in the 2 games that we
two
should have
losses.
No, it was 1 loss.
You
So
screwed up.
that's what I mean. The crunch time,
Okay,
you know, you've got to get that.
You
3
screwed
points.
up.
How-
No.
How
It wasn't-
ridiculous. Okay, tell me.
Didn't
Okay,
Fulham
so-
beat you? Fulham beat you, right?
No, Aston Villa beat us.
Oh,
in
I
the
know,
game,
I know,
in the
I know.
game where we said we needed
Okay.
3 points, no?
Okay, but Connor, we won 15, drew with Man City away, and lost 1 game, and we won 10 games in a row.
Stefan,
Isn't
can
that
I
the
say
point,
something?
though? But that's
You
the
know,
point,
last
I mean,
season,
in the crunch time, we do always let go. We do always.
But
not end
was
up
that
winning.
crunch time? We lost that game in
Well,
March.
in my opinion, it is because you do have to be perfect to win a trophy. And
Guys,
especially-
I
But Connor,
think,
how is that? Okay, you have to be perfect.
Stefan, there's a big difference this time.
Can you
I
tell me?
honestly think 2 things. One, I think the Saka injury is a massive blow,
Yeah, that's
right? Massive blow.
And
And 2, I also think I don't think you're better than last season because of the transfer window you had. I actually look at us this year and I think you're slightly worse, in my opinion.
No, but still, you guys have to take into account we've lost our 2 most. Every team, I've always said this, has irreplaceable players. Arsenal lost
agree.
Odegaard in the first 3 months. He's an irreplaceable player.
Last year you had none of these injuries, though, innit? You got
Yeah,
away
I
with
know,
injuries.
but still, you need a bit. Like Rodri played 100 or something games in a row still for Man City without getting a single injury, and now the moment he gets an injury and is out for the season, Man City, let's be honest, still they've completely gone to shit. They've collapsed.
Yeah, but these are reasons why you're not as good, which is why
I'm saying
last year 15 games, 1 out of 17.
No, I agree, but I agree with you still. But I'm adding context. But if you look at just for comparison, after 20 games, we have exactly the same amount of points as last season. We've conceded less goals than last season at this point at the same stage, and we've scored more goals than last season at this point compared to last season. So we're not far off from it. But do I agree with you that without our best player and one of the best players in the Premier League, look at, because you weren't in the show, Stel. In my opinion, the reason why Liverpool have dropped the last 2 games, Stel, apart from the fact that they look tired and they're overplaying their players even more than Arsenal, I would say, is the fact that Salah, the last 2 games, has been subpar. He was poor against Man United and he was really poor against you guys. And as a result, Liverpool, they should have lost against Man United, let's be honest. and they lost to you guys, and you guys were better. So if your irreplaceable player is either out of form or injured, there are some players you just can't replace. Arsenal cannot replace Saka or Odegaard. Sometimes you know this, though. You need a bit of luck with injuries. Your best players need to stay fit. 2 years ago, Saliba got injured.
Talking to me about
You
injuries.
cannot replace Saliba. You just can't.
Yeah,
But
but Stefan, you can still get. You can.
We've had more injuries than anyone.
Shouldn't you also think you got to put into play to the fact, especially Bukayo Saka? We have always said we need someone behind him. We need another winger. And then you do have to look towards the manager, towards Edu at the time, to say, why haven't you got anyone in to help him out? Why haven't we gone ahead and signed an Mbeumo?
No, but we tried to, Connor. We tried to sign Sesko. He didn't want to come.
He's not a winger.
Yeah, okay, no, but if we had signed another forward, then Gabriel Jesus can play that role. He can cover.
But he can play that. I'm sorry. I don't think he can.
But now,
I'm sorry. I think he's awful. I've got to keep it honest and real. Yes,
okay. But if we had signed another forward, we could rotate Saka far more, whether it's a center forward or a direct replacement. But we weren't able to do that. The other forwards that we were interested in, they were just for Isaac. Newcastle wanted 200 million. I remember reading, and Gyökeres they wanted 100 million euros. Which we didn't want to pay, sadly.
Look at this, by the way.
Listen, I've got to shoot off, fellas. I hope you have a good.
By the way, Steve, the reason why I said Emirates is because in the last 20 years at Anfield, Spurs have actually won a couple of times, and they've had more draws than at the Emirates.
So Liverpool
they won in 2011. I remember.
Spurs last win. Yeah, this one right here, 2-0.
Yeah. I actually remember that game.
Yeah, so we had
Modric,
Van der Vaart, and Modric.
Yeah, I remember
Modric. We had quality back then.
And then 1998 in the League Cup, Spurs won 3-1 at Anfield. So it's actually 8 times, by the way.
2-1 FA Cup.
So I'm right, Stel. So I'm right. It was 8 times.
See, look, I'm going to start at the very beginning. The first time you ever played Liverpool at Anfield was 1910.
And you lost.
Then you won in October of 1910. Then you won in 1912.
Oh my God. That's
and then look at this. Guys, you're going to see for the next 73 years, they went in between. Look at this.
So wait, Steve. So 1/4 of their wins are before the First World War?
Yes.
Oh,
they went 73 years.
Steve, can you go to 51, please?
1951.
Yeah.
Draw.
No, we didn't play them.
Oh, well, you didn't.
No, I was going to say because that's the year we won the league, so we won it because we didn't have to play them.
Go to
61. Go to 61. The second time we won the league.
Why haven't? Oh, Stel. They must have gotten relegated, Stel.
So the years Spurs won the league twice, we didn't have to go Anfield.
wait. When did you win, Stel?
Oh my God.
Wait, Stel. When did you win FA Cups and Europa Leagues? Was it the 70s and 80s? Check 7.
The last FA Cup was 91.
91.
Okay, so no, but when you won the FA Cup, you were shit though in the league. You weren't good, right? You were like 13.
No. We came third under Venables. We were quite good.
Did you? Wasn't that the year you won the FA Cup when it was against the odds?
There was one.
Are you sure, Stel? Wasn't it?
No. The year we won the FA Cup was the year we stopped Arsenal from winning the double because you won the league that year.
Yeah, I remember. It was against the odds.
We weren't going to win.
Go up, Steve. Go to the 1980s when they were at their best with Glenn Hoddle, maybe.
81 to 84.
You lost them all. Yeah, but that was probably Liverpool's greatest ever team then.
Yeah, but hold on. 81 to 84, we won European and FA Cups.
Well,
we didn't win league titles.
No, look at this. Look in the 80s. Liverpool completely owned you. You lost everything.
Liverpool was the best team in England in the 80s.
Yeah, that's true. No, but I'm saying in the last since the Emirates Stadium was built, you have won once at the Emirates Stadium. I think it was 2010. So
let's look that up.
That's not true. No. We've won 2 or 3 times.
No. In terms of league form,
I'm pulling it up. Record
in
versus
league,
Arsenal.
we won when Yunus Kabul scored the winning header.
Yeah, 20. That was 20. I remember that. That was 2010, 2011, and then you won in the League Cup. You won in the
I
League
don't
Cup
want
against
George
us in 2018, 2019, I
2-0.
think.
Yeah, Dele Alli scored the winner.
Yeah,
I remember.
Dele Alli. That's the last. That's
Do you
the last
know-
time in
do
any
you know-
competition.
Yeah, but we've drawn a lot of your ground though.
No,
We've drawn
you-
a
When
lot.
was that?
drew-
Yo, Stefan, what was the Emirates built?
2006, Steve.
Okay. So basically from here, all right.
Count how many draws, Steve. Count how many draws.
Very few, Stel. You mainly lost. Like
1, 2.
All right,
So
very-
Stefan.
2008 was the first draw.
The 4,
League
2006
4,
was this game
Oh,
at the Emirates?
2006. Yeah, we drew in 2006. All right, so that's one.
no. Don't count April. Our stadium began at the start of 2000.
All right, start
Oh,
2008. 2008. So
2008. Okay.
1, 2,
Okay.
Draw,
2,
L.
draw,
3, 4,
draw.
5,
draw. So
6,
5, 6,
6,
7.
7, and
It's not
then we got a number. We've got quite a few wins there.
No, but that's from 1921, Stel.
Wait,
What's your
21?
point?
What?
Go down where it says wins. You see 1922.
Oh yeah, this is yeah. Because basically
That's
this
not-
section. Yeah.
I guarantee you, if you look at Anfield in the last 20 years, you have more losses at the Emirates.
So, Stefan, what this says is we've had 7 draws. The stadium was built 2006. It's now 2025, so that's 19 years. 7 into 19, so almost 50%. So 40% of the games we've drawn. We can get a draw. We can get a draw.
You
Even
drew
the-
last year. You drew
the,
last
the,
year.
the stats back it up. Which I reckon we
Yeah,
can.
but Stel,
listen,
Stel,
I think
you've
we're going to
lost-
draw.
You've
Stefan, I
lost
think we're going to draw.
the most. You've lost the most at Emirates Stadium.
No,
since it's been
no,
built.
we've lost the most at
Yes.
Stamford Bridge. It's
No, you're
horrendous.
wrong. Go check Stamford Bridge. You have more
Right.
draws.
It's nothing
Wait,
but
hold on.
L's. It's just
Go
L's.
look. Stel, I'm telling
my
you, you
God.
have more draws. How many
Bro.
draws do we have?
7.
7.
Okay.
7.
Okay,
I'm gonna
guys.
write it in the private chat. 7 draws at Emirates. Okay.
I have a
Okay, guys. I really have to go. Thank you for the show, Mari.
big up,
Thank you,
Stefan.
guys. Big up, guys.
Next week,
Take care, Stefan.
See you
it's
guys.
going to be the North London Derby preview next
For
week.
sure. I'll be here. I'll be here.
Just a couple of questions, and
Well,
I'm
do
going to
2006 onwards. Let's do an equal thing, Steve.
Yeah. Sorry.
Well, it's
So,
Steph-
so
Murray's
remember,
just
Stel,
says-
12. How many losses? 12 losses at Emirates. Did you say? And 7 draws and
Now
1
go to
win.
Chelsea
Right?
2006.
Okay.
I'm gonna stay just to see if I'm right on this.
Right. So how many draws? Let's do how many draws? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Keep going.
6.
That's 5, 6, 7.
Eight.
Why does that say? This is 1910.
No.
Yeah,
Just
It's less draws. It's
Oh,
less draws.
because it's the end of the
yeah.
Right,
So
so
just
there's
go to
6 draws.
2024. So you
There
have
we go.
7. You have exactly 7 draws, Stel.
No, 6.
No.
1,
1,
2,
2, 3, 4, 5,
6,
6,
7.
7.
Go up 8. Oh no, that's
this is
before.
7.
That's
And
before
then how many
7.
wins? 1.
1.
You have more wins at Stamford
Yeah.
Bridge. See, I
2,
told
3,
you.
We've actually
Two.
got a better
We have
record at
2.
Stamford Bridge.
I told
don't
you,
believe
Stel.
it.
I told you. Your worst record is at the Emirates. There's no
2.
worse record.
2 wins since
Okay,
2000.
maybe we lose then. But I think I've just got a feeling we're going to draw. I've got a feeling.
I did. Yeah.
See you guys. See you guys.
Alright, big up,
Where's
Stel.
your shit?
next week,
Real stuff.
North London Derby.
We've actually got a worse record at the Emirates.
I told you
Yeah.
the Emirates Stadium, and not only that, you've won twice,
Well,
which is the least
Anfield's
out of-
worse. Anfield's worse than the Emirates, man.
I know, no, but Anfield, Stel, you have more draws than you have losses at the Emirates, but you've won once at Anfield. That's different. You've won twice at the Emirates overall, which is true. But Anfield, you have more draws.
Fair play, man. Fair play. You're right.
Damn.
Ellie in the chat says we finished 10th when we won the FA Cup in '91. But
I
there
told
was-
you, yeah.
But there was one season. There was one season under Venables. I'm sure we came 3rd. I'm sure there was one season we came 3rd. Graham and Ellie will answer. Graham and Ellie will figure.
I'm gonna go
I have
first.
no
Stel.
clue.
Look at
Majority
this-
of these
look at
things
this,
is what
guys.
talking about.
Look at this knowledge from
I'm
myself.
so young.
I know which season it is, Stel. When you won the FA Cup in 1987, you finished 3rd.
No, we lost the FA Cup to Coventry.
Was it the cup? No,
That
but
was
I
the
think
year.
you
That
finished-
was that. No. I know. I will never forget that because that's the year I became a Spurs fan. We lost the FA Cup the first year I supported Spurs.
I mean, that's a pretty accurate representation of what the future would hold for you. So
It's
I'm
been my
sorry.
life.
Stel.
I started as it's gone on.
I'm sorry, Stella. I'm really sorry.
What a
I want to do the
See you guys. See you guys. Cheers.
Big up stuff.
Just a couple of questions.
Yeah, look,
Number
Dan
one,
G, Dan G says in 1990
you finished.
we came
You
third.
finished
I
third.
knew it.
Yeah.
I remember because I was properly getting into football then, and I remember we won the FA Cup in '91, and there was one year we came
Yes.
third in the league. Listen, Terry Venables was good for Spurs. He was a good manager. He was
a Barcelona manager.
Barcelona. He was England manager. He was good.
Crystal
He was good.
Palace, QPR. Damn.
Anyway, we won fuck all anyway, so it doesn't matter.
so of course these are rumors that we fumbled the possible Muniai. Always have a hard time pronouncing his name. PSG.
Colomwani.
Yeah.
Colomwani. Yeah.
Money. Which I honestly I don't really rate him that much, but if he's on our squad, he's probably the best winger that we on the team. What do you guys think of him? Because for me, I haven't really rate him. I think he's okay, but I also think
He's better than Bernard Johnson.
He's
He's better than Bernard Johnson.
No, he's better than Bernard Johnson.
And if we can get that in January, I'm all for it. It's as simple as that. I'm tired of seeing Brad.
The reason why he's not doing that great. The reason why he's not doing that great at Paris Saint-Germain is number one, he's never consistently playing. Number two, he's never consistently playing with
which is a problem.
And number three, he's not a possession player. He's a player like a Rashford, where he's best on the counter attack. Same with Brendan Johnson, better as a counter attacking. That certain players can't do both, right? Certain like Anthony Gordon, he could be a counter-attacking winger, or he can break you down against a low block. He's shown to be.
See, and that's what we need. Someone who can break down, and we continue to get.
Brian Mbeumo would be a way better option for me.
Yeah, for me. That's why I'm like, it's a mess signing because I want to see someone who can break down, who could take on his man.
Colomwani's not that guy. He's a good exploiter of space on the counter. He's not a guy to break down in the low block, though. Definitely not.
Yeah, and so that's what for me. I'm like, he would be the best winger that we have if he joins the club.
Well, he's also a striker. He is a striker. That's the other thing, and he could drift out. You know what it is? He's kind of physically, if you actually look at him, physically he's built like Isak, long, skinny, tall. Like he's got like a similar build to him.
His finishing is horrible. I'm glad it's horrible because me loving Argentina. He didn't finish well. Great save by Martinez, but yeah, it's just another man. It's typical Spurs, man. It's just I know. One day they brought up Rashford, which I was hell to the no, 100% against. But it's just these types of plays. The only one, which I believe is a rumor, for Juventus, Diaz. That's the only one that I'm like, okay.
Who is this?
From Juventus,
Douglas Luiz.
Douglas
Luiz.
He was at Aston Villa.
Now, that's a man. He's a player. I would love to have him at Spurs. I would love to have him. Yeah. That's the only rumor that I've heard out there that I'm like, okay, I could get on board with that. But all the rest of the players that we've been linked to so far, I'm like,
meh.
Yeah. I mean, it's
guys, we're not getting any of these players right. This is what happens all the time. The journalists, the YouTubers, they're full of shit. They're all full of shit. We're gonna sign Eze. We're gonna get Tony. We're gonna get
what's Portuguese?
We're gonna get Neto. We ended up with Bergvall, Gray, Solanke, Yang, and Werner again. Right? It was the worst window, and we were going to get all these experienced, ready-made players. They all lied. They all misled. They never learn. So what they're doing, as soon as the transfer window opens, last one, Spurs, Cowlin, Ornstein, Ben Jacobs, the Athletic, Sam Johnson. We're going to get the goalie, Sam Johnson. We go and sign Kinski. None of them mentioned him. None of them mentioned this guy. So let them talk about Moani. Let them talk about Douglas Luiz. We're going to go and sign some random player that none of us have heard of, and that's going to be the signing. Don't listen to them anymore. They are the biggest liars, and it's all to create gossip and conversation because everyone's bored. For me, I so get this transfer window and every window. Wait and see what the club actually do. Oh, and at the end of the window, no one said it. We went and signed Odebert. Out of nowhere, Odebert. Right? So don't believe Murray. Look, Iggy does all these transfer shows. Listen, Iggy does all these transfer shows. He loves it. Charlie, I've just been on a 2-hour show with Charlie, No Filter FC. He does all these transfer shows. He loves it. Everyone can love it. But for me, I think it's the biggest load of bullshit. I don't buy any of it. I don't believe any of it.
You know what pisses me off? Now that you mention it. Every summer, every time, January or summer, we're linked to players. And everybody, the Alistair Gold, I think that's how to pronounce his name, they big up transfers like Werner and try to make sense of it. And then when the manager is going through tough times, you say, oh, how can you play well with Werner? But you were the one saying that he was good. So how did this guy become horrible now that the manager is doing badly?
Teslim, Alistair Gold, in the summer, put this tweet out saying, I've seen some stats that's made me now think that signing Werner would be a good idea. And he showed...
Yeah, the dribbling stats, yeah?
All these dribbling stats. Running with the ball stats, yeah?
I saw it.
Okay. So, when he put that out, I thought, you're being fed information to brainwash us so that when it happens, we've been fooled into thinking, yeah, Alistair Gold said, yeah, look at the stats. So I replied to Alistair Gold and I said, why have you ignored all the shooting stats? Worst shooting accuracy at Spurs, lowest goal scoring count at Spurs, and the most shots missed at Spurs. All his end product is horrendous. Why have you not shown those stats? Why have you shown one particular group of stats and ignored the other range of stats, which shows he's terrible? Why have you done that? Please explain. And you know his reply to me was?
Block. I remember you telling me this.
So I'm like, you absolute fraud. You're a fraud, man. All of them are like this because it's all carefully choreographed media, PR shill. How can I get more lives?
You know what I find it funny? I'm a media student, so you can't even do these things to me. They can't do it to me. I see through
it. Not you, but for most people who don't study media, the average person doesn't study media. And they're doing it again. They're doing it again this window. I don't buy it.
Guys, I'm so sorry to cut you off. First of all, good evening, everyone. Hope everyone's doing well.
Yeah, what's up?
Apparently, for Moani, it's a done deal, and it's obligation to buy for 50 million.
Are you serious?
Right now?
50 million?
Right now?
50 million?
On Twitter, yeah.
Bro,
it's not like Fabrizio now yet, but apparently it's going to be an obligation with 50 million.
We're not signing more anymore.
Oh my god!
Wait, hold on. Wait, what? Teacher just broke. What did he just say?
No, he's on Twitter. Off Twitter. Who are you listening?
No.
What happened?
I'm not saying no. I'm not saying like it's the most credible, but apparently it's going to be a done deal.
Whoa.
It's going to be obligation.
Listen, don't be the fake Alistair Gold, right?
No.
Where are you
I'm not
getting this information?
I'm Twitter.
You can't say on Twitter. On Twitter.
I'll show you. No, I'll show you the screen.
What's a done deal? I just missed it. Wait.
But I'll share you the screen. No, I'll send you the link.
DJs, what did you just say?
Apparently, I have no idea. I'm not a fucking ITK. I'm not of that shit. But I'm just reading off Twitter. Some guy named Tottenham Hotspur HQ. That looks.
Oh my god! There's not even a source, Dietrich. Bro, how old?
I'm just
saying. Yeah, what?
How old are you?
Who's the player?
Okay, it might be false. Okay, I'm just saying. That's what I thought it was real. Okay,
what are we talking about?
I thought it was real.
Who are we talking about?
Money.
Oh, we were just talking about him. Oh,
bro. Dietrich, you found a random account, right, with a random Tottenham logo with no source link.
With
Well, okay,
90,
no, actually, my bad, my bad, my
with-
bad, my bad.
with
Yeah.
90 followers.
Oh, my bad, my bad.
90.
Dietrich, I don't rate him. What do you think about?
No, I
Dietrich,
think more.
Dietrich, you've just embarrassed the whole of Morocco. How do you feel?
I don't mind. Honestly, if people embarrass
I
me,
don't
then
mind.
good.
I don't mind.
About him? I don't like him. I think he'll be the best of the lot that we have here, but I still don't rate him.
Bro,
It's
50
like-
I
million.
think no,
50 million in January. Do you know who the chairman is? Do you know who's in charge of the club?
loan with obligation. I would not be surprised if it
Bro,
happens.
we don't agree to anything like that in January, man.
But what
Yeah,
do you
we
think of
did.
the player?
We
Dietrich,
did with Poro. What do you mean?
Pearl was like 40 odd million pounds, man.
Yeah, loan with obligation. Yeah, that's a lot of money.
Dietrich, listen.
Dietrich, what do
me,
you think of the player?
for me, I don't think Spurs are spending. Listen, I've been told our budget is about 30 million. We've spent a third of it on a goalie. So there's, 30 million. There's 20 million pounds left.
We're getting relegated. I give
Not
up.
getting relegated.
I give up. There's nothing that can save us this season. I'm not even joking. Because this man is going to run his club to the floor.
Just to answer Mari's
This January,
question,
everybody has been waiting for you. Telling me about it 30 million.
just to answer Maria about.
Yeah.
I think Moani for me. I don't know if you guys will get. I think he's a decent player. He's not gonna take us to the next level, but for what we need right now, I would take him over Son, over freaking Johnson. He would be the perfect.
I agree.
Now.
He's better on the counter attack though. He's just a counter attacking team. Dietrich.
You know what's funny?
That's true, but
Tottenham
I
Hotspur
don't
is
mind him.
crazy. Why don't we go to PSG and loan Desiree Doué?
He's a good player.
Yeah.
Why don't we do that? Why are we doing money?
It's probably the wages, bro. It's probably the wages, man.
Well, yeah.
Desiree Doué, how much he should be? Can somebody check how much he's on? He shouldn't be on much. Why don't we loan him? He'll start for Tottenham.
I wouldn't take Desiree Doué personally, because I don't want another
And you
youngster
take
on my
money.
team. No, I'm just sick and tired of having youngsters. I'm tired.
But you take money.
No,
over
I would, say,
Desiree
I would
Doué.
take. No, right now, yes, because I think Doué is way too young for
Hey.
the Prem. I'm not saying Doué is not a bad player. No, he's a good player. No, he's
Wait,
not-
yo,
yeah,
but
he's a
what are
bad-
you saying about Igamane? You would take Igamane though at Spurs, wouldn't you? Hamza Igamane? Dietrich?
I would, yeah, I would. But look at how he's doing
There you
well in Scotland. But if we buy
There's
him, I'll
this
be
guy.
pissed. Because I want to see quality. I want to see some good players. And if you told me other players than Colomani, I would take them. I would take Douglas Luiz, for example.
Yes,
That's the
Right.
kind of player I want to
Right.
see.
I'll take him.
We do not do scouting the traditional way, right? We now do it by data-driven models, and that's why Bergvall, Bergvall, Gray, Odebert, Solanke, all these players, Yang, they all fit a certain model. Right? That's why Kinski is coming. If you look at apparently Kinski, in terms of successful, accurate distribution from the back, he's number one in the Europa League this season. Number one in Europe this year is Vicario. So these are data-driven stats. So when you look at Moani's and these players, Douglas Luiz, I don't listen to it. They're going to pull something out of the hat we've not heard of, and it'll be data-driven. I honestly believe this is the way they want to go now. And sometimes it'll work. Sometimes it'll be an absolute disaster. Like
No, but
fucking
even-
Johnson.
But forget about the stats. If Juve is ready to let him go on loan with, let's say, an option or an obligation, Luiz is an opportunity you have to take. Because you know he did well. You know he did well in the Prem, so just take the chance.
He's a
Even
beast.
though he might not fit.
He's not
the
coming
data.
to a team 12th in the Premier League from Juventus, Dietrich.
You never know.
Bro,
Nah.
can I say
You never
something?
know.
Any player that's experienced and who's got a name like that, like Luiz, if he came
He's
to
on a
Spurs,
loan, though. It's on a loan.
yeah, but he answers him. If he came to Spurs, I would question his ambition. I would question the level of ambition he's got. Kinski, I get it. He's young. We're a step up from Slavia Prague. This is a big stage for him. I get it. It's an ambitious step upwards.
Yeah.
For Douglas Luiz to come to us, you are lowering your standards. Is that what I want?
But
Is
his
this the
career,
ambition?
his career is in the mud right now. He's
Yeah,
not
he's
playing.
not playing for Juve.
He's desperate.
So he comes to a
He's
club
like-
who's in
like-
blood. So he
This
comes
guy,
to a club who's in
Calvin
blood.
Phillips. What club did Calvin Phillips go to last season? Was he?
Right.
What club? What club was that he went to?
Who?
He went to
Who?
one
Who?
relegation
He went to
club.
West Ham.
Calvin
Calvin
Phillips.
Phillips.
Yeah.
But Calvin Phillips is
Was he?
rubbish.
Was he West
Supposed to
Ham
be-
last season?
Yeah, it
Yeah,
was
but,
at West Ham.
but Calvin Phillips.
Yeah, but he's coming from City.
Phillips not that.
Yeah, but he stayed in the Premier League, bro.
No, now you're making the argument. Come on.
I'm not. He stayed in the Premier League. He wasn't playing at Man City. I get it. He stayed
Yeah,
in the
but
Premier League.
one is not playing.
But he was
for
never
Juve.
good.
And that's the same thing that's happening to
Calvin-
Douglas Luiz. And Juventus are
Phillips-
6. Juventus are 6.
Bro, are you
It's
putting
not like they're
Calvin
top of the
Phillips?
league.
Teslim, are you putting Calvin Phillips on the same level as Douglas Luiz?
No, I'm putting the context of the situation. He's at a club that is 6 that
but then
he's not playing there.
You got to give. But then you got to give me a player of the same level. Then
I'm not
Okay,
thinking. I'm not
Lukaku-
seeing.
Lukaku, he ran from Juve to Spurs.
You know the thing.
Kulu was a nobody.
My idea.
No, he
My
wasn't.
understanding,
What the
yeah.
fuck do you mean?
So, my
Kulu
understanding
is
of the
left, he
January
was a
window
nobody.
is like the window of
No,
opportunities.
he wasn't a nobody.
My
Yes, he was.
understanding
That's
of
what-
January window is a window of opportunities. Yeah. And I think it's an opportunity for Spurs and it's an opportunity for Douglas Luiz because he comes to Spurs and he starts. Do you get what I'm saying?
Okay,
And
perfect
he plays.
example. I can compare with Bentancur and Douglas Luiz.
I don't think.
I don't think
Luiz-
it's crazy at all.
I don't think he comes to Spurs, man.
He's,
I don't see
yeah,
it.
I know.
You don't know. But if
I
Skriniar, for example,
think
Skriniar
this
comes
is
to
the same
Spurs,
fantasy talk I heard in the summer about Tony. Oh, but we're bigger than Brentford and Eze. We're bigger than Crystal Palace, boys. I don't buy this. I understand how Tottenham operate. I've been doing this for 3 decades. If we get Douglas Luiz, I will come on here, and I will say that Teslim is the #1 content creator on YouTube for all Spurs videos, shorts, live shows. I will. In fact, I
You
will
know the
spend the
thing.
whole day promoting your channel.
If I was on the scouting team or the recruitment team, this would be fair. But the fact that you are Lang and his people are there, and Ange is the manager, we will probably get Cardoso. So
he's shit.
that man doesn't have an eye for
No, he's
players.
not shit. Oh my god.
No, he's
Bro,
not good.
Cardoso's average, man.
He's
No, he's
fucking
not.
average, man. No,
Yes,
he
he
is. He is.
No, he's
Merc.
not. No, he's not.
He's fucking
He's so average. My God. Do you know what? He'd fit perfectly at Spurs. 1 good game, 2 bad games. 1 good game, 2 bad games. 1 good game, 2 bad. He's perfect Spurs
He's
player.
not good. He's really not good.
He's another.
This year for Real Betis, he's not been that great. I'll give you that. I'll give you that.
Steve, is Newcastle going to sign anyone?
I hope so.
To be fair, they have so much money right now.
We've
they
been
didn't
linked with
spend
Johan Bakayoko from PSV for like 30 million, but that seemed to kind of die down a bit. Who else were we linked with? We were linked with someone else. Oh, Kuzhinov, Abdulkadir Kuzhinov from Lens. That
He's
Uzbek
going to
center back.
City, probably.
Apparently, but City are looking at Reis from Palmeiras, center back.
He's looking at Mamos from Germany.
City are looking at a few players. Yeah.
And Mamouche was the player that Mido, ex-Spurs player, told us to look at, and we ignored it.
Yeah.
No, that's not what happened.
He's going to City. He's going to be
I
the new
just-
star.
It was an article that
That's Man
said,
City,
like,
yeah.
instead of going to for Marmoush that was under free, we went and signed Solomon.
That's embarrassing. Yeah.
Solomon played 2 games for Spurs, got injured, then left.
And Marmoush was
man.
Marmoush was a free. Could have signed
I
him.
don't think Spurs are going to have this amazing window. We'll sign 1 or 2.
No,
listen,
I know
think
we're not.
We're going to sign
Yeah.
1 more player and it's over, man. 1 more player and we're done. And it's going to be it's not going to be any name or player that we know about. We're going to be on YouTube watching videos and but I heard that. Did you see this stat? And look at his left foot. It's really good. And we're going to do that again. And then we hope he becomes good. We're going to just be hopeful and we're going to have to wait and see.
By the way, I was going to say this real quick. Apparently, Arsenal cannot afford the British record transfer fee it would take to sign Alex Isak from Newcastle this summer. Sources say owner Stan Kroenke is extremely unlikely to sanction a move unless there's a
It's
significant
not going to Arsenal. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's not good. They're going to have to pay Newcastle.
Their fans are
Oh,
obsessed
no.
with Isak, bro. They are
Bro,
obsessed
the
with
arrogance of Arsenal fans thinking they can just
Conte's not
take
paying
whoever they
them.
want, man. Who do they think they are, man? Like, who do Arsenal think they are? They can just get whoever they want. They haven't signed the top striker in about 3-4 years, and they think they can.
Yes.
Come on, man.
What do you
Come
mean
on.
they signed the Havertz?
Do you remember when they signed him? Waka waka way, 50 million down the drain. Waka. Well, they're not singing that song now, are they?
No.
No, the one is Stefan that used to that told me he's gonna get like 15 GA this season.
You guys, you know, this guy at Dortmund, Gittins.
Who?
Yeah,
Kittens.
Gittins.
Jamie
From
Bino,
Bologna, yeah.
I think he's a baller. Really, really talented player.
I think that as a winger, Tottenham should go for.
Yes, 100%.
I think that's a winger Tottenham should go for.
He's a, you know what? He's a
So you should try watching him. So you should try watching him.
We're going to sign a winger. Do you know why? Because we've got Johnson, Son.
Still, we've got crap. All I'm hearing is crap.
Right,
It's
I agree. No, right. There's a difference between what I want us to do and what I think we're going to do, right? I'm telling you what I think we're going to do. Because we've got Son, Werner, Odebert, Brennan Johnson, Mikey Moore's now back, Kulu can play out wide. That's 6 wingers. I don't believe we're going to sign another one. And sometimes he brings on Richarlison and plays him left. So you look at all them players, I think only one of them is worth keeping.
Yeah, but if Maloney joins, he's gonna be a winger.
Right. So
Sorry.
Okay, guys, we can't sign players and play them in positions when we've already got 6 players in that position. So someone needs to go. We're not selling Son because he's just signed a new contract. We're not selling Mikey Moore because he's an academy player. He's only just started. Odebert, he's not going anywhere. He's injured. We're not selling Brennan Johnson. We spent £50 million for him last season. Kulusevski's staying. And who's the other one? Werner, we can't break his contract because we didn't put an exit clause in it for January. So he's hit the end of the season. We actually can't get rid of the players. So how do we sign a winger and add it to the squad? That means you've got to remove players. Who are you going to remove?
Still.
There's a limit. There's a limit.
I need to leave now. I just have one last thing to say. I don't know how we got rid of the likes of Sanchez, we got rid of the likes of Dyer, and we found a way to bring in the likes of Johnson, the likes of Werner, the likes of Odebert. And I get it. We haven't watched Odebert, yeah? Don't even bring that boy near me, Chukwueze, because he cannot finish, please. Don't bring him near me. He has days, but he can't finish. No, I don't want him. He's not consistent enough. All I'm going to say is, yeah, I know people will tell me, oh, but Odebert hasn't played for Tottenham Hotspur. I don't need to watch Odebert play. Odebert was playing for Burnley. Nobody, and we were the only ones that went for him. Nobody needs to tell me anything about Odebert playing. So, and Brennan was starting over this guy. That's all I need to know. I don't want to hear anything else. I don't know where we go from here, because every time we clear out deadwood, we bring in more deadwood. And we bring in young players, but we destroy these young players. So these young players never actually become what they want to become. We're even never able to sell them. And we're in this endless cycle that never ends. And my mental health has gone down the drain, which is why I had to stay off YouTube, and I've not been posting anything on my channel. I've been trying to stay away from sports as much as possible. But regardless of everything I've said, Tottenham Hotspur should not be talked. And this manager is absolutely not good enough. I don't know where we go from here. And I dread talking about Spurs right now. The only thing that gives me joy concerning Spurs is the Carabao Cup. And Lord knows, the moment we God forbid, if we ever get knocked out of this Carabao Cup, my God, I don't want to know. See, I don't want to know what anybody wants to say. If you like, tell me, oh, the injury, that's not my business. Get this manager out of my club that second. Because the only reason why I am still a bit calm is because we are still in the Carabao Cup. That's the only thing I have to hang on to this season. And let me keep on believing in my division that we'll go to Anfield and we'll win. Like I told you yesterday, still. That's the only thing that's keeping me safe. Because my God, we've been absolutely awful this season. I'm sorry for going on that little tangent, but I needed to let it out. I'm sorry. I needed to
Sounds like every show we do every week.
I got a message from Red Skull. Bottle jobs.
Yeah, bro.
But I need to go, guys. Bye-bye. Take care, everybody. Thank you for having me, Mari. I'm very grateful.
Big up,
Bye,
Tessa.
Sel.
Nice
Nice meeting you. Nice meeting you, Steve. And D-Trex. It's nice to be on the show with you again. Take care, bro.
Take care, brother.
Take care.
Red Skull, who's on the chat. Bottle jobs. Bottle jobs.
Wacko, wacko, eh, 50 million down the drain. Wacko, wacko.
Kai Havertz misses again.
I never. Do you know what? It's actually quite sad, but because I know my club is forever in the mud, right? Whilst Daniel Levy's here, it's forever in the mud. The joy I take from watching those South London Woolwich boys and girls big themselves up, this arrogance they walk with to bottle it every single year. I actually that is all I live for now, because my club offers me nothing. So at least I've got that.
You know what made me happy yesterday? Hassam was just going
salty, man. The salt, that was salt bay. That was salt bay.
Oh, I love it. Oh, so salty. Oh my goodness.
Maury,
Was
no,
just,
I've never had a hate towards Arsenal personally. It's more Chelsea. But ever since I met Stefan, I actually hate Arsenal even more. It's because of Stefan. I've never seen such a guy so cocky in my life, and he's one fuck all.
But you see, Stefan, though, right? He came on today's show and gave a very honest opinion on Spurs. With Dietrich, if you get a chance, he was very honest, and we were all sitting there like nodding our heads, like, actually, this is.
What did he say?
Go back and watch it. You need to watch it, right? Yeah. He was so honest. We all agreed with him. Well, I did. Everyone else I thought was agreeing with him. And even in the chat, they were saying, is this really Stefan? At least with Arsenal fans, when they're calm, they actually can have a football conversation. Chelsea fans are just scum. They're just scum, man. Honestly, like they're a different breed of. They're not even human.
Who's this?
Chelsea fans. They're rats. Yeah, absolute rats.
Oh,
them and Man U fans. Them and Man U fans are the worst fan base.
No.
Man U fans are arrogant. Arsenal fans are arrogant for no reason.
Man United. But Chelsea,
the worst is Arsenal. The worst.
No, it's not Arsenal. No.
Chelsea.
I can't stand Arsenal. Arsenal.
Absolutely.
Stand Arsenal.
No, but you see,
from Rory Jennings to the other guy that
exactly.
What's his name? Don. You have this other one. This other Chelsea guy who is just
the fat one. He's
annoying.
He's overweight.
The Chelsea fans, they are just man. I can tolerate. I can tolerate, but Chelsea, and there's some of their fans and their history, racist history. I just everything about Chelsea just makes me.
I feel like Arsenal fans are mostly like Arsenal fans. It's mostly clickbait, but Chelsea are actually. Most of them are pieces of shit. They're the worst fan base. I fucking hate them.
Well, I'm glad you changed your mind in the space of 2 minutes. It's good.
No. I always said Chelsea are the worst. Second, Man U. Third, Liverpool. Arsenal fourth.
No.
Yeah.
Listen, Liverpool are not worse than Arsenal.
Listen, Man United are arrogant. Chelsea are scum. Arsenal, they're filth. We call them filth, but it's more because of a territory war. Liverpool, it's always we're the victims. Everything's an injustice to us. We're always mistreated.
They're always hard done by.
They're always the Scalcer.
Liverpool's the reason all English teams got banned from Europe. We all got banned from Europe because of Liverpool fans, right? And they play the victim card. We all get punished, and they play the victim card. It's in their history. always the victims, Liverpool fans. Sometimes they've got a point. Like Hillsborough was horrible what happened. I don't know if you know the story,
Yeah.
but yeah, you know, okay.
About
That's
the
not
Hazel State. Yeah.
right. So, but everything other than that is victim culture. So, you know, Spurs, we're just fucking deluded, man. We're just fucking deluded. That's why everyone laughs at us. We're just deluded.
Yeah.
It's yeah. And then who else?
I would agree. I think our fan base is the most. It's weird. It's just
No, ours are only unicorns. That's it.
yeah, unicorn.
We're a bunch of unicorns.
Yeah,
No, that's Arsenal. No. Arsenal have like the
Bro.
unicorns, bro.
But you need to see the things they say about Andrew is actually pathetic.
Oh no, it is.
It's our fan base is just so. I don't know. They act that way because we have the lack of winning, but it's the most weirdest. It's the most weirdest fan base.
Mari with deluded.
Your fan base is yours is the strangest. I'll give you that.
The strangest.
Steve, do you know the sad truth is at Spurs, and it is sad. We think we're bigger than what we are.
Spurs.
Yeah, we think we're actually bigger than what we are.
Because
we were the only.
big.
Hold on, we were the only team that got invited to that European Super League that hadn't won a trophy in 15, 20 years. We were the only team. All the other teams that got invited were trophy winners and recent trophy winners and a history of it. We got in there purely off of financial clout and stadium size.
Yeah.
We're a big business. We're not a big club. We used to be a big club, but we've been overtaken now and we're not relevant like that. We're relevant because of money, architecture. We live off our history, but our history was the 80s, man. 40 years ago, 60 years ago. There's no modern history of Spurs. What's our modern history? Signing Gareth Bale back from Real Madrid. I mean,
No, it's making the Champions League final. That's the only thing they say.
You're too young to know, but Olympique Marseille got to the Champions League final once as well, and they lost to Red Star Belgrade.
Back to back years, Marseille made it. They
won in '93, right?
They I want to say they lost to Milan and then beat Red Star Belgrade, Cervena Zvezda. That's when they had the really good German
Jean-Pierre Papin. They're Jean-Pierre Papin.
Jean-Pierre Papin. They had the really good German player.
Look, Graham sums it up. Look. Graham sums it up. We're a circus.
Yeah.
People blame channels like Tottenham Away. They say it's our fault.
Right.
We've created it all.
I can imagine if there wasn't Tottenham Away, Football Heritage TV, you know, their hospital. Like I couldn't imagine if we did it.
Alex,
you would think, you wouldn't think nothing is terrible. You would think everything is perfect. Everything is great. Trust the process.
Bro,
everything is la la land. Like yeah.
Mari, last night, before I went to bed, I had a little look around YouTube. So let's see what last word have to say. Let's see what Chris Can has to say. Let's go look at a couple of smaller channels. These people think we're in the final, man. The way they were going on, it's as if we are in the final. They don't. It's almost as if half-time. They don't realize it's half-time. They think it's the final whistle's gone. Spurs are on the way to Wembley. And I'm sitting there thinking, fucking hell, this is what we did in the Champions League. We beat Ajax and we partied that night. We celebrated that night like it was like we'd won the final. You know, even our goalkeeper, he went over to his family, hugging them and tears. And guys, we haven't achieved anything. This is too much. You're getting.
No, I disagree. You can't
we
celebrate.
take every little thing and overblow it because of the lack of success. That's why you look all over and everybody's celebrating, and it's just kind of like wow. Like
Murray. I once went on on a football course, and it was in Florida. It was a really rich place north of Miami. A rich town north of Miami.
West Palm Beach.
Boca
Raton.
begins with A.
Aventura.
Yeah. Is that wealthy around there?
Yeah, there's money around there.
Right. So it was in Aventura. And I met this half British, half American guy. And he was involved with a lot of the national work being done out there. And I was talking to him. Like, he knew a lot of people in the game. Spurs expected to spend upwards on transfers in January. Source, trust me, bro. He should get battered, bro.
I never said anything. I'm not an ATK.
No. According to Dietrich and his the account that has 90 followers on Twitter, column 1, obligation.
Do you know what? Can someone
I would
in the
not
chat,
be surprised. No,
Wait,
I would not
can
be
someone in
surprised
the
if it's
chat-
obligation.
Can someone in the chat please start a Spurs news feed called "Trust Me, Bro"? I beg you, please, trust me, bro. Right?
Or he's
And I was
came out
talking-
to Florida. Yeah.
Yeah, so I was chatting to this coach, and he was name dropping people in the game. I'm like, well, this guy knows people, and he said to me, because he heard I was a Spurs fan. He said to me, I knew you were going to lose the final as soon as you beat Ajax. And I said, what are you talking about, mate? The way you celebrated it, all your players, yay, and they were dancing in front of the fans. And I heard in London there was partying in the pub. Listen, I went to the pub that night. We had a lock-in till 2 a.m, man. Locked the doors, we were partying on the tables, right? And he said to me, never drink the champagne until you lift the trophy. And he goes, you drank the champagne. And I thought, and that never left me. That, you know, sometimes people say things, it just sticks with you.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm looking at Spurs right now, and I'm like, we're fucking drinking champagne again, man. Put the bottle down. Don't open the bottle. Just and this is a mentality thing. This is the, you know, go look at the night when Liverpool beat Barcelona 4-0, the comeback to get to the Champions League final. Go look at the way they celebrated that and compare it to us. Massive difference. I'm talking end of game once you know you're through. Two very different reactions. They were more calculated. It's like, this is what we do. We were like, trust me, bro, I'm here.
Here I am.
Wait, he's a mod.
Wait.
He's a mod.
Yeah.
This is
But
Bryce.
still-
This is Bryce. Bryce has changed his thing. It's Bryce.
Still, didn't you? No. Isn't it a different context with Liverpool because they lost the final the year before when they beat Barca?
Yeah,
Maybe-
Because they lost the final. That's why they didn't celebrate.
yeah.
Also, it's Liverpool. They're used to kind of doing well in Europe.
Yeah, but they lost the final the year before, which is
Yeah,
I think
that's
is still
what-
her story.
That's why you need a manager to grab the players and say, come into the dressing room. Well done.
Yeah, they had Klopp, who's lost with Borussia Dortmund in the final.
Yeah.
So he got these guys, you know, the mindset. I've always said this. My last episode when I had my channel was the mentality of Spurs. And I looked at the last 10, 15 years. I mean, it starts from the top all the way down to the bottom. There's a term in America and States, Steve will tell you this, act like you've been there before, right?
Yeah.
With Tottenham, with our fan base, it is. It's like that hot girl, and you got a peck on the cheek. Oh my goodness, she kissed me on the cheek. You know,
and Mari, and then that same fucking guy has like a wet dream about it later. Like, bro, chill.
Yeah, she gave me a cheek, a kiss on the cheek.
You didn't.
You didn't hit home base. You didn't, you know, bag her yet.
Your
Just a little
face.
kiss, you know,
No, you're
just a little
fucking
peck,
face.
just a little peck, and she's like the greatest thing. Oh, she likes me. Why? She said hello. She said hi to me. She likes me. She likes me. She wants to marry me. She said hi to me. And it's just like, oh my goodness. Like, okay,
Mate,
Carl.
you brought back my school days there, man. I was just thinking there, they were good school days. Wait, do you know how it started?
Stel, do you begrudge a team like when Hull City make an FA Cup final? You begrudge their fans that they like over celebrate making the final?
I'm
No.
not talking about the fans. I'm talking about the players and the coaching staff.
Oh, I see.
Listen, fans, you got to let fans be fans. But the players and the coaching staff, you like, context, guys, you've done nothing.
Yeah.
In history, when people say who won the Champions League in 2019, no one's even going to mention Spurs.
Yeah.
No one
That's why I
cares.
said. That's why I said Poch is a loser.
I don't think he's a loser.
Fact.
He didn't have the experience.
No, I found it
He didn't have the
stupid that
experience.
when Mora scored that goal, he removes his watch, starts crying. Like, what the fuck is wrong with you?
The problem we've got at Spurs is what Mari's often said. We haven't been to enough finals to have that kind of experience and that consistency in understanding the situation. We've been to 3 finals in like 20 years or 25 years, something stupid.
It all comes? 3 finals?
1 Champions League. We haven't
One
been to an FA,
Champions-
we haven't been to an FA Cup final since 91.
Carabao Cup.
Since
final.
you won it?
Two League
Wait,
Cup.
since you won the FA Cup in 91, you haven't been to the final.
Oh, wait, didn't we make the League
No.
Cup?
The last team we won the FA Cup final. No.
No, what isn't it 4? Didn't we make a League Cup final under Poch?
2000.
Or I might be mistaken.
No, you didn't.
Under
No,
King.
Hold on. Under
Sam-
Levy and Enoch, we've been to 3 Carabao Cup finals and 1
Yeah,
Champions
3.
League.
Yeah, 1
The
Champions
last
That's
one was Jose.
and
He
the title push. That's it.
Right. So there's we haven't got that consistency of getting to finals. So that you lose
Semi-
one or two,
We lost a bunch of semifinals. That's what we've.
that means nothing, bro. I'm talking about finals. Right?
Yeah.
I'm talking about finals. Semi-finals mean nothing.
Yeah, we lost the League Cup final against Chelsea 2015.
The buzz of knowing you're in the final round, the cup final, that's what it's about. Because now it's anyone's. Anyone can win that now. We don't have that experience.
Wasn't
We
that
don't
the
have-
game they put Sonny at wingback, a fullback?
FA
So
Cup
that was-
versus Chelsea.
that was-
Yeah.
No, that
Which
was
is why
semi-final.
which is why I was pissed off that we sacked Mourinho, because we actually had a man that got it. We actually had a manager that understood the situation, and we sacked him.
And he's beaten Pep before in a final. You know, I mean,
Right.
Sabotage, man, sabotage. And he puts Ryan Mason, age 29, in charge of Spurs to go against Pep. And the day Ryan Mason got the job, I was more qualified as a coach.
yeah, you're
Me.
right.
Wow. Like coaching
Me.
badges?
He wasn't even UEFA qualified, Steve. And he got put in charge of Spurs in a cup final against Pep. Levy, man. Daniel
No, actually,
fucking Levy.
As
And
much
then
as I
I've
hate
got people
Mason,
like Sean Butler telling me, but look at my spreadsheet. Mate, take your spreadsheet and eat it.
Hey, Sean Butler said you can't use the word ambition. I wonder why.
We can't use the word glory, success, ambition, winning, trophies. There's a
Those
lot of
are all
words.
positive. Those are all positive things.
Listen, the club's gone, Steve. The club's gone, man.
Oh,
Levy's won. Levy's won. He's won. He's
Yeah.
won.
that's why I say sell your ticket.
And get a European side bitch.
I sell my tickets every game now.
No, like,
Damn.
don't be a season holder anymore.
You didn't go
like,
to the game yesterday, still.
forfeit. That's what I would
No.
do.
No.
I would just sell my.
Yeah.
No, I'm not going to
official
sell my
season
season ticket. I'm not going to sell my season ticket.
Because you want to be there when there's a protest.
Well, it's never gonna happen.
Well, one day Levy will be gone, and the other thing as well. My brother's a Spurs fan. He's just had a baby boy. He's a Spurs fan.
Yeah.
I'll pass it down, man. I'd rather they get the ticket than some Levy in spreadsheet, pie chart molesting cash flow forecast lover.
By
Yeah.
the time your brother's son's gonna grow, Levy will still be at the club, and we'll still. win
Actually,
zero
my brother and
trophies.
I had an
God
argument.
damn.
My brother and I had an argument. I said to him, "Listen, man, as uncle, I just need to have my say on this. Don't make him a Spurs fan, man. Don't do it to the kid. Liverpool, Real Madrid. Just do something where you know the boy is going to have an unbelievable enjoyment as a kid, as a teenager, as an adult of just supporting a football club. don't make him a Spurs fan. And my brother basically said to me, no, we had to go through the pain. Now it's his turn. And I said, all right. But when he turns 18 and asks you that question, Dad, why am I a Spurs fan? The same way we asked why when he asks you that question, I want you to tell him, Uncle did try and talk me out of it. I want you to remember that. So, yeah. But at the end of the day, it's his son, so he's a Spurs boy. He's a Spurs fan. I did try and save him, though. I just want you guys to know, man, I did try and save him. So when people say I'm nasty, I'm not. I really
My
do.
personal opinion, I think it makes no sense. For example, a boy born in London that supports Liverpool. That makes no fucking sense.
Half of London supports Liverpool, Man United.
No. No. I just feel like if you're born in a city, if you're born in a city in a certain region, you have to support that club.
Yeah, Terry Lewis is from London. He supports.
So Dietrich,
Terry Flu's dad is a Spurs fan.
Yeah,
because he's from London, and I'm like, how do you become a United fan? I guess out of rebellion.
You know what, guys? You know why
he was smart.
happens?
He was smart.
Because winning attracts new fans. It's a simple fact. Winning attracts.
I'm not gonna lie. I was at dinner at
Graham. I'm sorry.
In Costa Rica, and so two young kids, right, with a Erling Haaland jersey, Manchester City jersey.
Yeah.
I'm like, wow. I'm like,
Costa Rica, bro.
In Costa Rica.
Because and Mari, it's because they win, and they have done. Man City, by the way, have won. Yeah. They've been winning shits for what, about 15 years now? 2010, they really started going. Yeah. They've been winners and competing at the very highest level for 15 years, bro.
This is true. Yeah,
that makes no sense.
Half of London supports Liverpool and Man United. I'm telling you, yeah. This is
because they win.
No, I just feel like if you're from a certain region, you have to support that club. Same thing. I'm Canadian. I'm not gonna go support the Lakers.
Well, who do you support?
Toronto. Like I'm gonna support like my.
Do you live in You live in Toronto, right?
No, because if there was an Ottawa team, I'll support Ottawa.
But the days of growing up and supporting your local team have died, man. The game's global now. People just pick and choose as they want.
Internet, online. Like
there's kids in London who support Man City because they've grown up watching them win everything.
Like all the sports teams I root for from New York, people are, oh, why do you root for them? I said I was born in New York. I was born in New York City.
Like I root for my Chicago teams. I mean, they're all dog shit, but like
I'm like, I know most of New York teams suck, but I'm born there, so.
You've been in America, like you've got one team for a whole city.
No. Yeah, New York has two teams.
In London, we've got 13 football clubs.
Yeah, New York has a lot of two-teamers. Like, for example...
LA has two teams.
Yeah, LA has two teams. So
LA has two baseball, two basketball, hockey,
Yeah, but you're right. Most cities have one team in America. And it would be interesting if MLS, because it is big enough, like New York could have more than 5 teams if you put one in each borough. Like NYCFC represents the Bronx because they play Yankee Stadium. Brooklyn was trying to have a team, and they were trying to make the Cosmos. If anybody remember, Cosmos is the team that Pele played. The other guy, the German guy,
Mateus, Altar Mateus.
Yeah, my dad went to see the Cosmos, so my dad saw Pele play in New York City for the Cosmos. They were trying to have him, but MLS is weird in the sense of no, that's one is enough because the New York Red Bulls plays across the river in New Jersey, but they're called New York. But I think it would be fun if you had more teams in the city because it will bring more rivalries and stuff. That's what the best rivalry in MLS is the LA teams, LA Galaxy and LA.
Galaxy and LAFC is a good one. Yeah, but
Yeah.
Mari, I like you know what MLS rivalry I like more
Even
Timbers
Toronto,
and
Montreal.
Timbers and Sounders and Montreal Toronto. I've been to
Yeah.
Montreal Toronto. I almost got
That's
into
a
a
good
fucking
rivalry.
fight.
Actually,
I almost
intense.
got-
The Montreal fans are crazy.
yeah, that's
And
my
Toronto
MLS
too.
team. I almost fought a fucking Toronto. I
Yeah.
was.
But
Shit.
what I try to tell people on your side of the
I'm
world,
not even joking.
because I watched the
We're
Mexican
drinking
game,
out our section.
my ex-fiance is Mexican. That is crazy. That is the closest.
Okay. Wait.
South America's on a different level to
Oh
everywhere
yeah, South
else.
America is.
South
South
America's on a
America
different
is it's just and guys, I have good news. I am taking my first trip in March as of now to Argentina, and I will be attending the game March 19th at La Bombonera to see my beloved Boca
No
Juniors.
Going to
Yeah.
the Bombonera.
Yeah, so
Oh.
that's going to be nuts. It's
Yeah.
going to be nuts. I am just so excited.
Bombonera is iconic, man.
I'm counting
That
the
and
days.
Americana and Bombonera is.
Yeah, so I'm just so excited to go into that building. It's going
Mari,
to.
you're probably gonna go deaf, bro.
Oh yeah, they're gonna be singing from the beginning to the end, and I mean it's gonna be batshit crazy. Like,
Mari, I need to shoot, brother.
yeah, no, we're gonna end the show. Before we end, when is our next show? Yeah, it's we have a show for the Tamworth game, right?
Yeah, Sunday.
Yeah.
Or
Yeah, yeah.
Saturday.
Don't
Saturday
fucking
night,
lose.
9 p.m.
Do not
Spurs v
lose.
Tamworth.
We better win that game.
Mate, you want to see the stadium? Look at the stadium.
Oh my goodness! Wow, wow.
It's crazy. It's
We're in
crazy.
trouble.
This is why I love the FA
Yeah.
Cup, though. This is why I love the FA Cup because
I love the FA Cup.
Like
Love it.
Mari, don't you agree? In like the freaking in the NBA, they should have something like the FA Cup where you have like the college teams play freaking NBA, like
Yep.
D3 team. That'd be sick, bro.
There's a lot of, but like I said, the MLS is. I don't know. There's some good things they do, but there's a lot of things I just disagree
Same.
that they need to do better. But yep. So our next show is Sunday. Next week, North London's hours is on a Tuesday because we play Wednesday against the scum that is Arsenal. So next Tuesday,
I hope you guys win. I hope you guys win.
We won't
win, man. We won't win. We won't
I
win.
beg you win, please.
We don't win. A draw maybe.
Oh, I'll take a draw too. I'll take a draw.
Anyway, we'll see, man. End the show. I'm tired. I need
guys.
to rest.
well, we won yesterday, so I am still buzzing about it. We upset Liverpool. Come on, you Spurs.
Away the lads.
No, wait, lads. Come on.
That is true to be
And
Arsenal.
we dog walk London.
Come on, you Spurs. And we are. Wait, did the show end?
The first game we look for, Robbie. Tottenham away. When we got Tottenham away. Tottenham away. When we got Tottenham away.